This has been a long time coming.
So
Very
long,
long time
indeed.
coming.
My God, since the release of the DLC, I think a little bit after
Yes,
that.
to the point of where I, honest to God, wasn't sure if we were still doing it, and then I got a message. You're like, "Hey, are we still doing this?" I'm like, "I'll talk about Cyberpunk if people want
Yeah, are we
to."
doing this? Like, what are we doing?
So we were just comparing hours for what we put into this, and my memory is going to be bad compared to what we have because I haven't touched the game since the DLC came out. We figured out that in between both of them, I have 285 hours in. Kiona,
Yep.
what
I
do you
have. I'm gonna guess about 230 hours total.
Josh,
So around there.
I have 120 hours in total.
Crystal,
I have, what was it? It was 235. Kiona, I'm beating you by 5 hours.
and she's
Yeah,
basically
yep.
only in her second
Good
playthrough,
job.
and I think I beat the game, I believe, 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
I've
even
had-
halfway.
I'm on the second.
Near halfway through my second playthrough, and I'm still at
Oh.
235 hours.
All right, so
Nice, nice.
I was gonna say like what we all went through and how we got through the series first, but from what I've got from this, me and Kiona started it originally, but you guys never touched it until you watched Edge Runners.
Yes, that is our case. That was really only we remember when the trailers came out, when all of the promotional stuff was coming out for it. When was that? 2016, 20.
Well, at that point, we were already
Oh,
together.
Matt,
so
thanks
we were probably around, we were just together. So I'd say 2018.
No, I mean when the
game
game
is-
was announced.
Oh, the game was announced in 2013.
2013.
The first teaser trailer. This game's been coming out for forever.
But I mean, like when the first promotional stuff was coming out, like that, the one with Max Stack.
Oh, the teaser trailer that I'm talking about, where the girl in the mantis blades gets shot out in the street, came out in January 10th of 2013.
The one with the song Bullets by
2013?
Archive, which got me into that band for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't remember really
Such a
paying
great
attention to it.
trailer.
I
Well,
didn't really...
the fact that the game existed happened then. I don't remember when the very first trailer happened, but this game was a thing that was announced and then nothing happened for a very long time. So
I think where we both kind of came in was like right around the breathtaking stuff. Remember?
Yeah, when Keanu Reeves was advertising it at that point. Yeah, because
You're breathtaking.
It was
You're
the
all
meme.
breathtaking.
And we watched what they had of the game, and at that point, I was like, "This looks really cool. I'll be looking forward to it." And then the game came out.
Which, I am so thankful because I remember around that time that was like right at the turning point, or right around that point when COVID was still kind of hitting its hardest. That was, if I remember, that was just after that 1, 2, 3 punch of Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh my god!
So then I was genuinely at that time heavily considering getting Cyberpunk on the PS4 because of the fact that, at that point I wasn't even fully on board, but it's the atmosphere. I kept coming back to those trailers and seeing the screenshots, and I thought it can't be that bad, but I think it was you and your dad. You guys are just like, no, don't spend your money.
Oh yeah, because I was watching what was all of the bugs, and I was like, why would we spend our money on this? Why? Like it's half a game.
It was here was the thing that I described to people, and people gave me shit about this, but I was being honest. I played some games that were fully there and were a waste of my time. And then I played other games where I was like, I compared it to, do I want, and they're talking about how the game was released and it could come later or whatever. I said to someone, okay, would I be okay with a Ferrari that just doesn't have its engine installed in it yet, or a Toyota Corolla that is broken in half? which the Ferrari eventually got its motor put into it. Eventually. So
Eventually.
there's
It's a
some games
long-term
that
investment.
are
Took 'em a
just
few years.
bad when they're all together. So that's what the thing with Cyberpunk, I was like, eventually, inch by inch by inch, it got better. I'm like, eventually, this is going to be freaking amazing.
And also, you know, there are external factors to what happens with game releases as well. There's like a lot of marketing and stuff. Mike Pondsmith brought this up in an interview with Susie Hunter. I watched her video before we came on board and you know, off air, and basically he said that, like, you know, there were external pressures being put on the dev team at CD Projekt Red, and like they had to meet Walmart's timetable. They had to meet, like, you know, Target's timetable. They had to meet Target's target. I mean, like, it's there's a lot of things happening, even when you're like, you know, when you're publishing a video game, it's not just all about, like, unfortunately, it's not just all about the artist's vision. It's also about marketing departments, and it's also about big corporate interests and money and shit. So yeah, it's a tangled web we weave.
It is, and like, this is a game that they needed
late-stage
money from the
capitalism.
government of their country to finish,
Mhm.
and they were trying desperately to have their own engine that they could just use without having to pay someone else.
Yeah.
Everybody, newsflash, they've announced that they're using Unreal Engine 5 for the next Wisher game. And that the Red Engine is dying with Cyberpunk. They said they tried so hard to make this thing work, and they just ran into so many freaking issues. And
I don't blame them one bit. I mean, even at some points where the game was just like at its most optimal, man, just because it's at a really good place now, that doesn't mean that there aren't still some real shattering bugs, especially the lighting sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Have you had that happen, Crystal, where sometimes, like, it just seems like the sun suddenly turns into like a strobe light, and it's
Yeah, it happens for just a little bit, but there are still some noticeable bugs. Like, the most noticeable one for me was in the end credits. Sometimes, like, when you're seeing, like, the calls.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
Some weirdness happens.
Yes.
Like, when I got the call from Mitch, he was like all in like black, and he was leaning on nothing.
Yeah, I had that too. I had that same glitch.
Yeah,
even last night. Yeah, even with update 2.1, you still get a few glitches here and there.
Yeah, which the point of it is that the game's done. They have openly said that they're not working on it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's
fine. They now have an Americanized team in Boston working on the new one, which they said they wanted to put the team in America so that the next one looks and feels more American. I'm like, person was dying over the corporate overlords ruling everything. It's pretty American already.
Yeah,
didn't it? I mean, how do you make that feel more American? I don't know.
And then he clarified later where he was like, how certain ways streets are set up and different, like, little minuscule things like that they're like, it seemed not American. Other things I was like, I was okay with the game feeling very Japanese.
Did people complain about that?
No, but perfectionists are perfectionists.
I wouldn't even say that the game was like very Japanese feeling. It was, but that's what I like about it, that there's a whole bunch of different cultures included in it, like the Hispanic heritage or culture in it.
Yes.
Yes, Aaron.
It's there, like the funeral for Jackie. Oh,
oh,
like,
God.
and then you had the what was it, Fifth Street? No, what were the
Sixth Street?
Sixth Street, the super Americans that you had to go to the shooting competition with.
Yeah.
They had their like trailer parkish areas with them.
Yep.
Then you had the dune areas with the Aldecaldos and the oh shoot, now I can't even think of them. I haven't touched this game in like a year and my brain is melting.
Not Maelstrom, Voodoo Boys?
Voodoo Boy, yes, Voodoo Boys were like the church and all that you had to go out to, and
yeah.
yeah, it's some of the most visually pleasing stuff ever, which again, basically after you have Jackie's funeral, you just can see all of Night City. They don't restrict you whatsoever, which is awesome, but can also, for some people who played the game, be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because oh boy, does that map fill with icons fast.
Oh my god.
We're glad to have you here, Lucifer.
This second this second playthrough. Also, Lucy, my god, you're working on art? That's so awesome, dude. I gotta say, like, in terms of just the atmosphere of this game, like there are so many instances and so many like environments where you're just awash in neon light, and it's just the hottest thing I've ever seen. There was I think it was the Best ISIS mission where you go to rescue as it turns out it's Nancy. It's like it's one of the samurai band.
Yeah.
Where the first time I played this, by the way, on PS4 Pro, first time I played this, I did not get this mission. So I apparently just kind of ignored it or just like played through to the end of the game instead of playing it. But I got it this time, and I went to the Maelstrom, the nightclub that they're at. What was it called? Like Riot or something?
It starts with a T.
Oh yeah. It starts with a T.
Totentans.
Yeah. So I went there, and like, just like the moment that you step in there, and then I had Patricia was the Maelstrom gang leader that I had. So like, she
killed
kind of
Dum at the very first start.
I killed that guy. So like,
I did too.
So Patricia came out and she met me and she took me into the club. And as soon as you walk in there, it reminded me of walking into Omega in Mass Effect 2. It was just like that.
Oh my god, like, you're right.
It was like red. Everything was just red neon, and it was amazing. And the music was amazing, and everything is so super cool. I love that. I just kind of stood there, just like, even though I was in like hostile territory, I just stood there with my character with V and just watched like everybody just dancing on that dance floor and just looking at the lighting and everything. It was awesome.
Okay, I'm already feeling a difference then. In that case, I have to ask, because I already know what Crystal's path was. I want to know what your guys' paths were.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. I was gonna ask what your paths were for the first part. The very first one I did a street kid.
Same.
Yeah. No, the first one that I did was male V, and he was a corpo.
Oh, mine was female as well.
Hey, same here.
I literally did female because I learned that you could only romance Judy that way.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, you were absolutely right.
Like, I don't know about y'all. I'm going to state this early. I don't know if I've heard a voice. I don't know if anything in my life has turned me on as much as hearing Judy's voice.
No, you're not wrong.
Oh,
you're not wrong.
She's the best. She's the best.
You are not wrong.
Oh my God. We got into freaking Club Lizzie, and I heard her talking about, woman, you gotta stop. This is just, I had to like took the controller down, like all that. You're like freaking when there's that clip of Chris Evans when he sees Chris Pine, he's like, stop it with those blue eyes, bro. Like I just couldn't. Female V because Jeremy Lee was really good in this, but there was points where I swear she was doing a Jennifer Hale impression.
Yeah, she was doing a Jennifer Hale completely.
Oh yeah.
So this is my personal hot take with Cyberpunk, because I feel like when it comes to Mass Effect, I think it's very clear, in my opinion, that Mark Meer is iconic, but Jennifer Hale is, in my opinion, the better voice actor for Shepard. However,
I love them both.
When it comes to V, I played male and she played female, and just knowing like the different points and so forth, I can't actually give a personal like, oh, this is undoubtedly the best, because I feel like there are points where male V suffers from Troy Bakerism, where he just tries way too hard to be like gruff and all that. But then there are points where when that tough guy like facade just crumbles, I feel like he hits those vulnerable points like really well. And then with Jeremy, with female V, there are points where I think she hits like especially the tender moments especially well. But then she also does, in my opinion, the Troy Bakerism.
Yeah, she does, where she's a little like, ugh, like in her voice, and it's like it's a little too dramatic for this moment right now.
She has a very like her voice though is very it's more of a sweeter type of voice like her like I've met her in real life and she's very sweet and she's very like, really charming and cute and adorable. And she just like and I have a crush, yes. But she she has that quality though in this game. And to me, I don't think it necessarily went over the line for me personally, although I get what you're saying totally. But I think for me personally, I thought that maybe she was just being a little bit too, a little too like gruff or a little too like, like
Yeah.
I'm V, fear me.
I'm going to be really honest with you.
I don't know. I
think
loved
a
it
lot
anyway.
of the problems the game had fell in the department of voice direction.
Maybe it was direction. Yeah, it probably was, to be honest.
There
Because,
were a lot of points where we were listening and like that could have used a second take.
Yeah, or
Mhm,
not
mhm.
really sure. Yeah, that and they're like, you really wanted them to act like that in that situation? I don't know if like because again, this game had to put this game at a development cycle is being lightly, but yeah, it was something. All right, so before we get into too far into like story beats of the game here,
Yeah.
how did you guys build your people out? I started out liking doing melee, but then ended up being a hacking smart weapon user that could take out a room standing in a corner without very minimal effort.
I was the exact opposite. The first time I played it on PS4 Pro, I was the corpo guy, and I just did like basically quick hacks the whole way through, and just stood at a distance and kind of just hacked into security cameras and just kind of like tried to hack people from afar and just do that. And then this time playing on PC, full monowire build, full like get in there with your SMGs, get in there with your handguns. As soon as I got Johnny's gun, I was like, oh yeah, this is it, man.
That thing's
I was like, yeah, I did the exact opposite, and I built my character and I kitted her out to the point where she had a Sandevistan, so it was no quick hacks. It was just all just straight up Doom-esque, get in your face, kill guys, monowire them, cut their heads off with it. It was fun.
What about you two?
I love the monowire. It's peak. It's
Now, is that because of Lucy or because you just tried it?
no. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about when I went into Cyberpunk. I didn't even realize that they had that those different things like the rocket launcher, the gorilla arms, the mantis blades, and the monowire.
Mhm.
And because I'm trying to think about when I played it. I think what happened more was you and Teddy had gone through full playthroughs before I even touched it.
No, I was a good way in. Me and Teddy as our roommate, we were a good way through for a bit, and then we finally convinced you to try it. And then when you tried it, you were having a really hard go of it because you don't really play a lot of.
Yeah, that is one major thing for me. Is that
It's a lot at once.
Yeah,
this is the first like full-on first-person shooter game that I've played.
Oh.
Well,
like she's played Doom.
I played Doom, and I didn't beat it.
Which Doom?
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
2016. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't beat it, so this is the first one the first-person shooter game that I've completed, and it's the first one that I've played in a long time. So it was very much a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
But once which is another reason why I took a long time playing it. Like I would kind of play it for a little while and fall off, and then play it for a little while and fall off. And it took me a while to like fully sink my teeth into it. Once I really got into the story, then I was playing it all the time.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. It's one of those things that I will say that I've had some people go away from it and I'm like, give it another hour. They do ramrod you instantly
Mhm.
with like you're instantly going to VIX and here's how you get all your implants that you're actually not going to get for like 3 hours. Like
Yeah, it takes a long
When-
time to build up. It really does, and
Yeah.
that's another reason why I say like I didn't pick the monowire because of Lucy. Because by the time I even got to the point where I could pick one of those, my cyberware, I had pretty much forgotten about it, or it wasn't really in the forefront of my mind.
Mhm.
I just picked the monowire because it fit my V.
I think at that
Yeah.
point you had just reached the Phantom Liberty section, and you had finally started like
Yeah,
really going
yeah.
into. Well, how would you describe your build? It's just kind of
My build was hacking and the monowire. Like I had a decked out cyber deck and the monowire. I used the thermal monowire.
Nice.
Lights and bitches
And
on
that
fire.
one is so sick. I mowed through Max Tech the first time I tried to go after them
Nice.
with the
Nice. Nice. Nice.
monowire.
Oh,
Nice.
did you get the errata, the katana that's called the errata, where it has like the flame? You cut down guys and they just burst into flame with that.
I probably did, but at a certain point, I stopped keeping the katanas because I had the monowire,
Yeah, yeah, the
Oh,
monowire.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
and it was
All
it,
right.
the reach was bigger. And, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
All right. Nice.
So with me, I do not have that big of an imagination. So when
yeah.
I came into it, I very much was trying to go for like a gunslinger kind of situation, just really trying to go for like, revolvers and shotguns and everything like that.
You
And
use the rocket launcher, right?
I think at one point, like when I got like the the implants where you could like do that, I got the wrist cannon.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
and I believe there was just a certain point where I just realized, well, I'm investing so much into stealth. Why not go all the way? And at that point, I had a lot of money and I wasn't really buying anything because I was just fully invested in like the side quests and the missions.
Yep.
So I had everything stacked up and I had a lot of everything basically went into stealth. I invested a lot in getting some cyberware and especially in getting RAM, so that way I could do like the incapacitate and then just waiting by, incapacitate, waiting by. Oh, I can stealth you here.
Yep.
I can stealth you there, and then after a while, I got so good at potentially incapacitating people, and that was a lot of trial and error. Especially, if you know me, I am not good at Metal Gear, even though I love it. But then the biggest investment that I took was Dex Deshawn's pistol.
Oh, the one that shoots money.
The one that shoots
Yeah.
money. I never ran out of ammo for that because again, I had so much cash. I just put a silencer on it, a really good silencer, and it just got to the point where I was just going in, and I made a conscious decision to not kill as many people because that was like the kind of role that I had where it's just like, all right, I can get in here. If I wanted you dead, I would kill you right then and there. You wouldn't even know that I'm there. But when I'm loud, I got really loud. And especially, I think when I finally got to Phantom Liberty, my go-to weapons were A, obviously Dex's gun with the silencer. B, I found a schematic for Hansen's pistol.
Yes.
And I used that because it looked a lot
Mm.
like Decker's handgun.
Yeah.
And then I believe at the time, and this sucks because I had another situation like with Red Dead Redemption 2, which I don't remember if I told you. I know she knows about it. slight tangent. I swear this builds to it. In Red Dead Redemption 2, to put a long story short, I had this really huge black horse that I loved, and I named him the Incredulous Boy. He had great speed, great power. He could go anywhere. I loved that horse. And we had to do a heist with Dutch where we had to go into this place and rob some people. But I wanted to have high honor. And every time this happened to be a mission where honor was unnatural, was going to go down no matter what. Yeah. So every time when it came down to it and I realized, oh, this is going to happen, I would get dynamite and I would kill myself right then and there so I could start the mission over. But one of the times,
killed your
I
horse.
killed the horse accidentally.
Oh.
Killed myself, and then I lost the Incredulous Boy. That happened in Cyberpunk, where I had a smart shotgun.
Oh, and
it spread out. It had the smart aim, or the smart block, and it would just fire the pellets and then just straight into something. And I think at some point, I either dropped it or dismantled that gun, but that was the one that I would go to a lot where, okay, I need to go loud, and everything
just died.
And
no.
Yeah,
that was
nice.
So heartbreaking. I loved that gun.
That gun was great. The smart sniper rifle, that shotgun, and Johnny's pistol were basically what I lived
Johnny's
off
pistol is... It's sex.
Like the fact that your melee option is you lighting a guy on fire when you use Johnny. I was like, what? I wish it had the stopping and kill power that it did during those flashback scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know.
Otherwise, I'd never use another gun. I just literally never would. Just like the simple even bit of every time you shot, you saw the back chamber.
Yep.
That might be my favorite pistol in a video game ever.
I love the fact too that when you shoot that thing, I mean, for me, it's down to that pistol or Ace of Spades from Destiny 2, or Destiny 2. But like the way that V shoots that gun is the same way that Johnny shoots it.
Yes,
the same way she reloads it. She like everything that she does is the same way that Johnny does it. And somebody brought that up in like a video that I was watching, and I was like, you know what? That's so true. And it's just Johnny, like, you know, a little bit of Johnny coming out.
Oh, absolutely.
And you love it.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so before we get down to any loyalty missions, I just want to kind of talk about favorite characters and favorite missions you randomly ran into. The first one I'm going to mention because I laugh every freaking time. It's I can't remember. I believe this guy's real name in real life is Jesse Cox. But the guy that runs to your car because he has a malfunctioning cyberware on his dick.
Wait, was that Jesse Cox? Because he was he was the crazy like minister guy, right? Or the crazy like the dude who's like who's standing in the street and stuff in the alleyway.
I have no idea. I thought I was
aliens.
I have no idea. I thought I was told that the burning crotch guy was Jesse Cox. I could be wrong, but
maybe it was.
That was the point early in like my first 10 hours of playing where I'm like, what fucking game am I playing? Like, what is this? And then all of a sudden he gets off and it's just like he's just burning crotch guy when he calls you back. He's like, I love this game. Everything about this game I love.
It's awesome.
I'll start out with you two since you have the freshest go off. What were your favorite random characters, favorite random missions?
Honestly, shoot. You know what? You go first. I can't.
So I have two favorite missions that are just random that you can run into like a side quest. My first one is probably the most lighthearted one. I love the mission Raymond Chandler Evening, where you just go to El Coyote and then you see that. I think the turn of events is there's like a corpo guy that almost gets his shit rocked, and then V steps in, and then you talk to the bartender. It's just like, what's going on? Oh, well, I think my wife's cheating on me.
Yeah.
Like that. And then Johnny gets so wrapped. I was just like, this is like one of those old-fashioned noirs.
Yeah.
The
Oh
Dane
my
walked
God.
out of the bar, but her secrets were spilling out of her dress more than her body, or something like that. And I just love that you got to see this geeky side of Johnny. That was the mission that actually went a long way to getting me to really like Johnny as a character, because up until that point, he's just Mr. Stick some iron in your mouth and pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
So seeing that little side of him that's just a little nerdy, and the fact that he actually likes art, it's like, okay, I see you, game. And it doesn't hurt that the writing in that mission was really well done. The other one, and I remember because this was just before you finally decided to start playing it.
I already know what you're talking about. I already know what you're talking about.
It's the mission where you pick up a fixer gig, and this guy's just like, we're gonna go fucking get this guy. We're gonna get this guy. You stop you head up a convoy, and then you get out with the guy's just like, we're gonna kill him.
I know what you're talking about.
And then he gets headshot, and then a convict gets out of the big van. It's just hey, would you come with me? And we'll just you'll either get paid or not, whatever, but just come with me. And you discover that this guy named Joshua is trying to crucify himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinner Man.
Yeah, that one is a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I didn't think they were going to go that far. And when all people were like, hey, you want to do that? I'm like, I haven't felt that uncomfortable in a game in a while.
I did too. I had to pause and just like, wait a minute.
Wait
a minute.
It says, I'm the Milky Man, I am delicious. Good Lord.
And with that, I was utterly
That's awesome, Allison.
I was utterly fascinated with that particular side quest because A, I didn't think that they would actually go that far, and B, I'm not gonna lie, it actually got me thinking like theologically and spiritually and so forth. And I know I don't know if this is a hot take or anything like that, but just I saw it as just like this for that particular character, especially right at the end when he was just having those doubts. I was just trying to talk to him as a person, and I know he was expressing those doubts, but I just couldn't bring myself to leave him alone. So I stayed there with him as a friend, and I crucified him.
Yep.
Who was that corpo girl? Like the one really unique model? She has red hair. Red or pinkish hair. Oh, shoot. I can't think of her name.
Talking about.
I don't know her name either. She's hot as fuck. She was
the one character that got brought out of there.
Yeah, except when she started talking, and then she was a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like,
when
are you talking about?
Go ahead.
Are you talking about the one that was with you during that mission?
When he walks away at the restaurant, and she's like, "Don't try."
Yeah. Her. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I know. I thought she was hot too. Honestly, I was like,
"Oh, she was. She was." I was kind of expecting. I was expecting many times in this game to have Witcher-esque situations where, like, that's not the main romance, but you're just gonna,
I know.
I
wanted that so badly. I wanted that so badly, especially with the French lady. Oh my god.
Well, you do get that. I think you kind of do get that with
Meredith Stout.
Meredith. Yeah, you do kind of.
Yeah, if you could choose to save her. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a bit because there are already some major differences in our playthroughs, but those are my my personal favorite like side quests that I can remember and think of off the top of my head. Although the Delamain one also comes to mind.
That was really good.
When you break into the facility, and I swear to God, I finally got confirmation when I was playing, when I was watching Edge Runners with Crystal, because we were just on that kick, because I believe they played the song that plays at the end of that mission where you go to the remaining car. And I swear to God, in the back of my mind, I thought, wait a minute, is this song from Health? The people that did the song for Max Payne 3?
Oh,
that seems like it. And then I look at the credits on one of the episodes, and I just went out loud, I fucking knew it.
that nice. Some other ones that I really liked, Coin Operated Boy, the vending machine that becomes
the vending machine. Oh my god. Was that not the guy from Detroit? Was that the guy from the
I honestly don't know.
That's Connor.
I think that was the same actor, right? That was Connor, right?
It could be.
Yeah, that was.
Speaking of that, the girl that plays Kara is Firecracker in The Boys this season.
Oh shit.
Yeah. She has a very country accent going on, but you don't
That's
recognize it. Skippy, obviously.
Skippy.
What's her?
Oh yeah,
I
was gonna mention that one.
Yeah, there's that, and then it's a mission you get that. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It's a mission you get at the very beginning by them sending an email to your house. And then you have to drive around everything to find this guy spewing propaganda about certain stuff.
That's the one that I was gonna bring up. Oh my god, that one's hilarious. Just
And
the
you
shit
finally-
talking with
Go ahead.
Johnny.
Go ahead.
Just
Yes,
like
go ahead.
the whole time Johnny's just shit talking you, and it's just like, oh, I swear
It's
Is
like
that the one-
get
Zoltar.
out.
Is
It's
that the one
Zoltar
where...
the fortune teller at the freaking amusement park.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay,
Yeah.
I just got that last night because I didn't do, and I didn't like jump to the Nancy part of it, the best ISIS part of it until like the
Yes.
very end, and I
Yeah.
finally got that one, and that was hilarious, man. That was such a good ending.
John's just like, please don't shut him off. This is too amazing. Please don't do it. There's one of those few moments, like you said, where Johnny really gets into where he's like, wait, this is as dumb as I hoped it would be. John, no, V, please don't do it. That is like, yeah, that there's so many missions in this game that like you get into the second half of it. And like one thing that I'm looking forward to when they do the sequel, there was stuff in Phantom Liberty where you call people in your contacts list that never talk with you about missions outside of themselves to talk about certain missions. Like you can hire hackers or whatever, or you're like, ask Judy about something that was involved with other things. I want them to do more of that because if you weren't in a mission with someone, they didn't exist. So I'm looking forward to more of that because they got some very good marks off of everything they did in freaking Phantom Liberty.
I remember
I'm
talking about too, like that one mission with those two fucking idiots in Dogtown that are just like, oh yeah, so we like clept this thing from Hanson, but it'll be all right, right?
I
And then the
hate
dude's just like, oh, you fucking okay,
You morons.
let me see what I can do.
Absolute morons.
With that, at that point, I had already gotten in really good with the Aldecado, so I was just like, hey, Pan Am, can you just help these fucking idiots from Dogtown, just get them out? And she's just like, look, I don't usually fuck with Dogtown, but it's you. I'll see what's going on. And I remember, I think one of like the ending things that she texts back is just, yeah, I took care of that errand in Dogtown. They seemed a little dumb.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways that could go bad too. My first time playing, I got both of them just horrifically murdered.
Yeah, I think I got them killed
because I screwed up
honestly.
in the dialogue options, and that's
Yeah.
about this game. It is not afraid to have you screw up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, on that, I just thought of two other side missions, and one from Phantom Liberty, one from the main game.
Mhm.
First, the main game one, just because that was for me the point where I really fell in love with the game, and that's the side quest involving the neighbor that you have, and there's two cops.
Yeah, and his turtle.
His turtle, like following that whole thing, that was such a really well written one. And when you go to the memorial section, and then you find the grave, and then just hearing Johnny go, "Oh fuck,"
Mm-hmm.
that sunk in for me, and I realized, oh, okay. But the other one, speaking of fucking up, it's from Phantom Liberty. And I don't remember if it was a fixer mission or something like that, but basically it involved you breaking into this police station or something like that, or breaking into one of these fucking like hideouts. I know you know which one. And you have to get these two fucking cops out of there. And the cops are there because...
Oh, is that the mission that Susie Hunter's in? Where you like
Yes.
see her in a car? You meet her
Yep.
outside and she's laying back in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she's just like,
okay.
can you just get these two fuckheads out? They were supposed to do something, but I think they... What was it? It involved cocaine or something?
Oh,
like
It was
yeah,
something with
because-
drugs. I'm listening
Yeah.
and setting up a fan. Keep
They had
talking.
taken in somebody and they were trying to I forget what they were trying to do, but the guy that they had, he was trying to hide the drugs that he had, so he ate it. He ate the whole bag and just like
Right.
Yes.
And then it dissolved.
yeah, and
Oh.
he started like dying,
Oh yeah.
and they were trying to get it out of him because it was worth a lot.
But it dissolved.
But it dissolved, and now his guts are just everywhere, and they don't know what to do.
And then I went into that, and I must have done that mission so much. Again, at that point, I was already super fucking stealth ass, like pew pew pew. But I kept fucking up, and then I did it so many goddamn times that when I got to the end, I just thought on a whim, "What if I don't kill anybody?" And then I get to that point, and then I do the reactions like I normally would, and it would inadvertently lead to a boss. But I didn't want to fight anybody, so I would reset. And I'm just like, what if I just explain that they're dumb? And then I did that. It's just like, yeah, they're fucking
morons.
idiots. They did this and that. And then when it gets to the, are you serious?
Yep.
And then the guy just pisses himself laughing. It's just like, oh my god, okay, get out of here. Just
Yes.
go.
Yep. That's some of my favorite stuff where you just go, hold on. If you knew how dumb this was, I'm not trying to start trouble. Just got it. Okay. Yeah, and they're just like oh man. Like no, one I almost forgot. Osop, the clown with the grenade in his face.
Oh,
my God, yeah.
Yes.
How if you screw up in that fight, you can blow up his head.
I
Yep.
did that way too fucking much.
Or if you have any weapons that are electrified,
Mm,
you
Yep.
could set it off.
pretty sure that happened to me a few times.
Yeah, I just love this is the moment where I sit there and I go, that's where I want to be, in the writer's room where they just go, what else you guys got? What if a clown put a grenade in his face? How long you had that idea, Tyler?
Oh, and
Tyler.
it counts as a side mission, I think, but the little roller coaster moment you have
Oh
with
my
Johnny.
god, yeah, I love that
I have
one.
never been able to get that mission.
I can't get that mission.
No.
I did not get it. Not even this time I didn't get
I've
it.
had full
This is
100% with Johnny and never been able to get it.
Yeah.
The thing is that I remember seeing Josh play that mission, and it was with some of the Voodoo Boys. There was like a whole interaction that you had with them. But me, I never had that interaction with them. All that I did was look around that area, and I was already using my scanner, and I noticed like a little thing, and I go and it's a control panel. I turn it on, and then I remembered that he had that you could actually ride the roller coaster. So I walk up to it, and Johnny's already there. So you
Okay.
can do it without talking with the Voodoo Boys.
Okay.
You just have to find that
Oh.
control panel, and it's not very far away from it. And you
All
can
right.
like use it.
Interesting.
Time to fire the game up again.
Yeah.
I just never scanned. I never scanned the freaking
Nice.
roller coaster ever.
All right. Okay, so before we get to loyalty missions, I'm going to ask everyone who they romanced, and I have a feeling I'm going to know everyone's answers depending on what gender you picked. So I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The male options in this game for romance-wise weren't that great.
No, they're
I did Judy. Male, I did Pan Am. Fiona,
Same.
Josh, and Crystal.
I romanced Judy. I played as female V.
and I romanced Pan Am. My only playthrough was as male V so far.
Just no love for River or Carrie in this group. No
Okay.
love.
No. Well, I mean, definitely love for
I mean,
Carrie.
no, we love them.
I love
loved River
Carrie.
too. River was all right. He was all right. He's just a teddy bear.
But the thing is that, like, what
He was a sweet guy, but he's just not, not what my V is looking for in a romantic companionship.
Yeah,
But he was a very sweet guy.
he was.
Especially like that mission, playing through it as male V, I like it a lot. I was just talking about this with Crystal and Teddy, her roommate, today, because of the fact that I feel like that mission as male V is a really good example of just like, a guy like kind of finally letting go of like all of like the pressures and everything like that, and just getting a moment to just be and just have a friend over and relax with family and just really take stock of everything. And it's a really nice bro out, you know, but like a tender kind of bro out with like male friends. And it's really touching, even if I think that, you know, it does rush a little bit, but it's a really sweet moment. And then I experienced it through Crystal's perspective as she was playing as male V or female V.
Yeah, I was playing as female V. I had already romanced Judy. We were already like that was already done by the time I started doing the missions with River. So it was a no.
Okay.
And I did not even humor it at all. And it was awkward. It was just awkward the whole time because it was like, oh, this whole family wants me in this. Oh, great. Oh,
the kids are there.
You and your niece. Nice. And they're making comments too.
Yeah, that was.
I'm a lesbian.
Yeah. There's one of those. That was one thing also where there's never a moment in the game where you have clearly romanced someone else. And then a romance option with someone else comes up, and you could go, "I'm with someone."
Kind of like in the first.
There's no option for that.
That makes me think back to Mass Effect 1, where you know, at that point I was all like, we were already like pretty set with Liara, and I think what the fuck was his name?
Caden.
It was Caden. Caden's just immediately like, "Hey, Shepard, you want to like, you know."
You want to watch me have a headache?
And then it's just like,
you want to like compare
Liara, and he's just like, "Oh shit, okay, sorry, my bad,
Yep.
It won't happen again." And then we killed him.
Yeah,
like
I love Judy. I love her so much. I loved her the entire time. But I will say, I was a little disappointed with how things end with her in the end. So long as you don't pick like the devil ending, but
I'll
because I more saw it as I'm fine with them splitting up in the end, but I just wish that Judy wasn't so mad at me for not talking. Like, what am I supposed to talk about? I'm dying, you know it. I'm trying to fix it. There's nothing else to talk about.
They have some real shit. We'll get into those endings because I've played through and gotten every one of them. Because if you do it right, you could literally just sit at Nocturne, AT, whatever, and then just have all of them ready and then pick it as you go. Oh boy, there's a lot to go. There's one mission I don't want to let go of that I just remembered now that I think is probably one of the best missions in the game. The paralysis. Or the paralysis, or whichever. When they're being surveillanced and brainwashed in their own house, I want more of that shit in the next game because that was the most.
Ask, what did you guys do? Did you tell him? Did you not?
I told him. Yeah.
Wait a minute. What mission is this?
With the people running for office, and it turns out that they have like they're being like surveilled all throughout their house. And,
Okay, the Peraltas or something.
It's a paralysis. But how they have radio equipment inside their own house, and the wife is actually in on it. You don't learn that till the end.
Yeah, the wife was in on it. Yeah.
Like, my gosh, woman, that was so messed up.
Shit. My God, I played that mission months ago, so I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think I would have told them, or I told them maybe in my first playthrough, and then the second time, maybe I didn't tell them, just to be different. But I'm not positive on that, so do not take my word for it.
The whole moral dilemma of that mission is do you tell him and break his worldview?
Yeah.
Or do you let him keep on living in this lie, knowing that if you tell him, I mean, it's not really going to hurt the people behind it. I mean, they're just going to find somebody else to manipulate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my thought process was, sure, it's going to break his mind, but screw these people. If I can take away one asset that they have, all the better.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. That was one of those where I'm like, I'm gonna have legit issues in this game
And,
because I don't know what to do with some of this stuff.
There's a
and that's
lot
like
of moral dilemmas
and
in
the-
this game.
it's great
So
too,
many.
because in Mass Effect, I know I've been bringing up Mass Effect a lot.
Yeah, we
since
keep on bringing up Mass Effect.
I'm not going to be upset with you bringing up Mass Effect ever, by the way.
it's a shared
No,
thing that
no.
I know all four of us have with this now. But the thing is,
Yeah.
with Mass Effect, it almost, to an extent, although I love it, it almost did incentivize you to beat Paragon most of the time. So, like, usually the most morally right option was always the correct one. But in Cyberpunk, admittingly, there were points where it's just like, no, you know what? You can take the high road with this, or you can do what's right with this, but that doesn't mean that everybody will come out clean. Like one of my favorite examples is the side mission in Phantom Liberty where
Oh
it
yeah.
was like with that boxer guy that
Oh.
with Maelstrom.
No,
I
it was
believe
the animals. I think.
No, the animals. And
The animals.
Because the leader at the end of that was another one I wish you could romance. Oh, that girl is good looking.
with that, I had enough. I had enough leeway. I think at that point I did all the beat the brat missions, so she already knew who I was, and she was just like, "Oh, you're okay." You know what? Let's
Oopsie daisy. Sorry.
We're not going to do anything, but
My
I
bad.
trusted you'll make the right decision, and
My bad, Chief.
it turned out that this
exactly.
guy, they had basically fixing his fights, and my first instinct was, because again, I want to be like morally upright. It was just like, you know what? You can do this. You've been fixed, but you could do the right thing, this and that. But I found out that if I picked that option, that dude would have fucking died. So I just told him, listen, here's the truth. You've been fixed the whole time. You've been paid to take a dive. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. And then I remember he messaged me back saying, hey, so I did the fight anyway. I did the best I could, and I lost. I lost naturally. That is okay. Now I'm helping children learn how to train and fight. So it's like, okay, I don't motivate people. Just be honest.
Yes. Hey, speaking of that, did you throw the very last beat the brat fight, or did you win, or did you not, or did you just win? What did you
just
do?
won. What did you do, Crystal?
What was the last fight?
I think it was with that really chromed out guy that, like, you're all gathered in Pacifica, and
and Vic's there, right?
Yeah, and that little kid comes up and like, throw it because my parents are ill, kind of horse crap. It tells you to lie.
No.
Fuck
I
you, kid.
didn't throw the fight. Are you kidding me? My ego
I did not throw it.
so inflated in this game.
That fight, when it first came out, that fight was hard as balls.
Yeah.
You had to block everything and perfectly dodge around, and then when I got to it after the Phantom Liberty thing came out, and I had everything maxed, I obliterated that dude in like 3 minutes.
Same.
Oh, ay.
Yeah,
right.
I did the same thing. The guy died for me though. I didn't save him.
Oopsie
I didn't
daisy.
save him.
Do you know what the old cheat used to be to beat that? Before the fight would start, you would drag a melee hammer onto the boxing ring, start the fight, and you could pick it up in the fight, and it wouldn't register as a weapon because you didn't have it walking in. Because they like take all your weapons, but if you set it there, all of that is in actual proximity during it. So you just dropped it, and then Vic would be like, "Yeah, you did it, kid, fair and square. Good for you."
There was a cheat. There was a cheat where you couldn't advance the story past the 2 loyalty missions for Judy and Pan Am, but there was a cheat before in the early days of Cyberpunk where you could actually stop their missions and like have them tag along with you. So you were like a 3-person party, and you would just go around and you could do like the beat the brat missions. You could still do gigs and stuff, and they would just tag along with you, and they would like jump in your car if you got in a car, or teleport in anywhere and stuff like that. And then they patched it out, of course.
Yeah.
But that would have been freaking awesome because it would have been like a little RPG party.
Yeah.
But you couldn't advance like the main storyline. That's the only thing.
Just as a quick thing before we jump into the loyalties, I figure it goes without saying, and I know all 3 of us alluded to it, or all 4 of us alluded to it, but CD Projekt Red, if you're listening to this, please up the romance options for both genders in the next game.
Yep.
Especially, listen, I'm saying this as someone who romanced Pan Am. But are you telling me that Pan Am is not bisexual at the very least? That is
She has the energy, right?
unbelievable as what the
She has
fuck
the
is her
energy.
name in Mass Effect 2, the one that gets introduced and she's like,
Miranda?
No, not Miranda, the one that has all the
Jack.
tattoos.
Jack.
Oh, Jack.
You're
Jack.
telling
Jack.
me
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
Jack
Jack.
is straight? Are you fucking kidding me?
Hell
That
no.
is
I
the-
care.
Jack is not straight.
Her and I believe Jacob weren't gonna be until the whole whatever news network lost their shit. I believe they
Yeah.
were supposed to be, if I'm not
No.
mistaken.
But like with Cyberpunk, it's especially so depressing because, in my opinion, this is a very rich world, and especially with all these characters, I feel like there could have been some concessions to like branch out romantically with everybody, especially
Nobody.
female V getting with like just throwing all these out, female V getting with Pan Am or Carrie or anything like that, or shit, even throwing some more options out there for
Never
male
gotten that
V,
far.
because male V is really only relegated to like to Carrie and Pan Am.
Yeah. And
And
weirdly enough,
nobody-
they have like one prostitute. Like in like opposite corners. That's really weird to me that it was like, we're gonna do all this and then they do the thing where you could get with Meredith Stout, but then never do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never do it again.
And like you said, that one French twin, I'm like,
Oh
Y'all-
my
Oh,
god.
come
Judy,
Oh.
sorry.
The
But
French
if this
twin
opportunity
is-
comes up, I'm taking it.
what's her name? The Chrome pop star,
Oh,
Lizzie Wizzy.
Lizzie Wizzy.
Wizzy Wizzy.
or the-
No
or
way.
one of the
no.
Us Cracks,
Us
or
Cracks,
even
yeah.
other.
Like, there's a
Side
mission
character-
to save Blue Moon, but then she just says, okay, bye. I didn't get murdered. Thanks. I'm like, no
Thanks.
backstage pass? Like, what are we doing here? Come on.
Like we're a bunch of horny bastards, and we're complaining about these.
We're the problem.
But listen, nobody in Night City with the fashion and everything, you can't tell me anybody in Night City is completely 100% straight. Not a single one in that whole entire
Yeah.
city.
I mean, it's
No.
Cyberpunk, it should be horny.
Exactly.
I'd agree with that, but even because I do see
Exactly,
the
Ire Legion.
I do see the point in making them exclusively like straight or
For a
or gay.
gameplay perspective.
Yeah,
Options.
or even just that, hey, this is an entire world that's completely fleshed out, and all of these characters are not here to serve you, they are here to serve the story.
Yeah.
And they are their own people, and they're not here to cater to
That's
your
fair.
wants.
That's fair. Yeah.
I
agree with
see
you.
that. But if that's the case, at least give me some more options.
I would
Pretty
have liked
please.
the option, as stupid as it sounds.
Your first name if you haven't.
I would have liked the option to romance Idris Elba.
Mhm.
I kind of thought that they might do that. Like on that same exact thing, I was like, can I understand you kind of do it with Johnny, but it's like Rogue. Please.
Iron Legion, it's funny you mentioned that. I literally showed this off earlier. I had
Yes.
just got this today, so I will be reading this more in depth later on.
Like, okay,
Like,
I'll ask you guys the same question, but I'll answer it first. What character that's non-romanceable would you just absolutely die for? Like, you
Oh.
wish beyond hope
Oh,
that
Brock's
this
already
character was romanceable. I'll answer.
Ooh.
My answer is Vic.
Ooh.
I'm like,
Vic, really?
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hey, I'll admit, Vic's got a charm to him. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he
he's
does.
just-
He does. Yeah, yeah.
He's so like caring towards V, and not only that, it's just the Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah. No, there's that
They-
song.
You even make that joke like later on in the game.
Brock, you're gonna say the one that I'm gonna say. Okay, go.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Crystal, you finish.
No, that was it. Like my answer is Vic.
Yeah.
Like every
There's a
time
couple.
I'm in the game, I'm just like, hello.
There's a couple. Purple-haired bouncer from Lizzie's.
Mm.
Mhm. True.
Oh, I know she has a very sad end,
Absolutely.
but I know there's a sad end to it, but I wouldn't have minded having some fun with Evelyn Parker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was very hot. Because
I know that
Yep,
Kyona's
yep.
going to bring it up later, but dear God in heaven, Songbird.
Songbird.
Mm.
Oh my god.
That
Oh!
would be really interesting to play up with that.
Lord have mercy. There was that girl that was a part of the animals at the very end, the one normal looking animal in the entire game. Hanako Arasaka.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, in that white dress.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, she was a good looking woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
shoot.
can't deny it. She's 80.
I love that.
I wouldn't
in
care if she
all
was
of this-
3,000.
I love that in all of this we can all universally agree, just not Misty.
Yeah.
Dude. What's wrong with
Misty-
Misty?
Nothing's
No,
wrong
it's not-
with
it's not-
Misty.
it's not that there's-
Misty.
I
Oh,
didn't
'cause-
feel
'cause-
romantic feelings toward Misty.
I like her.
Like it's,
I
I'd
like
it's
her
more-
too, but
I'd be down.
it's-
But yeah, I mean,
it's
I wouldn't
more,
want to go
feel
there
like
because of the whole like Jackie
Yeah,
situation.
Jackie,
There-
but-
there would-
you don't go there
she's
because
spiritual, and you wouldn't want to evoke bad juju.
and also it's just that she gives off the most I want to do everything to help you. You were my lover's best friend energy ever.
True.
And she's just so sweet.
But I'm just saying, a little candlelight, a little romantic dinner. I mean, if things went that way, I wouldn't say no to it.
I literally, if you gave me the option, couldn't.
Well, you're all better people than I am, apparently. I'm just a dog.
I remember during the mission with
I
'cause
belong in
just played it,
Dogtown, Jesus.
The mission with when you go to Jackie's funeral and Misty's out back and she's hiding in by his garage, and she
Yeah.
wasn't invited to the funeral
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Mama Wells didn't approve of her. And
Yeah.
you even hear like bring up Misty later on, and she's like, "Oh, that little putita came by." I'm like, "Oh, whoa, wait,
Whoa.
stop." He's like, "With all due respect, Mama Wells, no."
And then eventually she like gets to be like, all right, you know what? Misty's all right. Well,
Yeah.
it was like the thing that Misty brings up later on. She's just like,
I can't remember.
I think she says something along the lines of like, she's mothering me.
Oh
This
yeah,
is weird. She hated me and now she loves me, and this is so bizarre.
Yes.
But the level of like protectiveness, like protective, I got with a lot of these characters, especially with Songbird, Misty,
Oh God, Songbird. Jesus.
Judy,
Mm-hmm.
Songbird,
Hey,
Songbird, so mean.
where's the love for Solomon Reed? Where's the love for
That's what I
Idris
was
Elba?
saying. That's what I was saying. Like, there should have been an option to romance Solomon. There should have been an option to romance Idris. Imagine that. That would be so cool.
Hot,
Romancing
Really, really
wanted
with him.
really insanely
That would,
hot.
that would be
Or you
so.
say you wanted to
cool.
go to his Pacific Rim.
I want a James Bond with him.
Oh, God.
But that would be really interesting. Like if you romanced him and then didn't side with him.
I guess
wanna
you
see
would
his
say that
Reed.
if you romance him and didn't side with him, that would come down to The Wire. That was terrible. That was
terrible.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the other one, honest to God, I thought she was really attractive. The that mission in Phantom Liberty where that guy is doing the brain dance and he accidentally takes on the personality of that porn star, that
It was
black
like
porn.
Tina something or something. Tina.
I can't think of her name. She's black and has like the pink like curled off hair and has the cheetah print and shit.
Oh,
But
Right
I
back.
remember the dude's name was Tool.
Of course you would remember.
of course,
Of course.
of course.
Of course, the guy's name was
Oh my
Tool.
God, of course it
His
is.
name was Tool, and then her name was something Tina or
Yeah.
Tina
Oh,
something.
but yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna be. I can look it up and find it, but it's not that important.
Oh,
President Myers.
Oh my god! Except like
oh. No,
No, I'd have been,
no, not for me.
you would have said
hot,
best
but
friend, but not the hot president.
Not the hot president. No.
I don't know. She's hot, but no. Like when she
No.
when she's used you and she's done with you, like you
Yeah,
cheap
no, I don't
bitch.
like her.
Hey,
5,000 eddies.
That's why you use her first. And it doesn't matter if she only gives you the 5,000 eddies, you got what you wanted. And the other one who's from Phantom Liberty, the girl that is the bartender, Alex.
Alex,
Oh my-
yes, Alex,
when you
yes,
danced
yes,
with
yes,
her,
yes,
oh,
yes,
that
yes,
was
yes.
so-
Oh,
I
that
feel
was
like,
unbelievable.
Gorgeous.
you know,
Good
I'm
Lord.
enjoying this dance, but I gotta call Judy. I gotta call Judy.
You're like, honey, I love you, but oh, my Lanta woman. Yeah, she was everyone in that freaking Phantom Liberty DLC. They're like, we thought you were horny before. You just wait. But yeah,
Okay, I'll say this.
and
I'll say
then
this
Aurora
for
Castell, that French girl.
Oh yes, absolutely. Okay, I'll say this for the Misty thing. Not during the base game, but post ending Phantom Liberty DLC Misty. 2 years have passed.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm going to get to the endings, because I remember a lot of you didn't really go for
No.
a lot of that. So that's why no, you guys got that ending, but not
That,
the
that,
other. No,
that ending's
yeah,
the tower.
I got the
right?
other ending.
yeah.
I got the other
I don't
ending.
exactly remember the names of them, but yeah, it's
The one with Phantom Liberty is the tower. With Rogue, I think it's the chariot or the sun.
Yeah, for me it was the sun. That was the
Yeah,
ending
and
that I
then
got.
hold on a second. Let me look this
Let
up.
me-
Cyberpunk.
yeah.
oh yeah, and then there's the one where you go with Arasaka. That's the devil ending.
You got
And
two
then the
different
one with
versions in
Pan
it.
Am.
The devil, the sun, the star, and temperance. Yeah, it's temperance. And then the tower is the songbird, escape or surrender to Reed, and Firestarter.
And then there's Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah, and there's another one, but I'll get into that. They classify it as an ending, but I don't know if there's a name. It's
the suicide ending.
The suicide ending. Yeah,
Yeah.
that has the saddest shit ever in it.
Oh my god.
But so let's go through before we get to endings. Let's do loyalty missions here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask basically how you guys felt throughout them. So Judy's, all the stuff going through there. And again, these things are long and they take a while, so I'm not gonna ask every one of them, but I'm gonna ask the stuff I remember off the top of my head. Because like you guys asked me like 2 weeks ago, and then we did this, so there's no way I would be able to get another playthrough in. But so when it comes down to it, how hard were you hit? Well, I should say, I gotta remember exactly what the options were. Did you kind of just rush through or play it straight when you had to go investigate into the club where Evelyn was working?
Oh, I took my time.
Yeah, I took my time too.
Okay, now, did you make a deal with Woodman or did you kill him?
When
For
you
both you
first-
guys.
when you're first in there, I think I made a deal with him, and then later on when you go back with Judy, I killed him.
Yeah, okay, got it.
I didn't just kill him. I had my favorite assault rifle, the Psalm 1113.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Psalm 1113. I triple mag dumped him. Like he was just a smoldering corpse by the time I was done. I was out for blood.
That was basically the same for me, although granted it was some trial and error because up until that point I was super stealthy, and that was very early on where I was still kind of getting the hang of the stealth. And then I get to that point, and I had initially, after talking with him, I just got really pissed off, and then I fought him. But then as a result, all the stealth that I did just went out the fucking window. Yep. And then when I would have gone through, because at that point I decided I'm just going to stick with my consequences no matter what. Let's just go. But then I got to the front desk, and then I heard the receptionist just go, "Just get your stuff and go, please." And I just went, Okay,
I screwed
redo.
up.
Fuck it. And then I got back. I made the deal. And then when the time came, I didn't kill him, but I did assist in helping Judy kill him. So it was just like, Judy, are you okay? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Well, that
How?
was after, because like you meet him out back, right? And then you and Judy kill him.
You talk with what's her nuts?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
Tiger Claws.
the girl who tries to make the deal with you to take over the
Mhm.
club afterwards. I can't remember
Yeah.
what the hell her name is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so
That
many
one
characters in this
frustrated
game.
me because what I didn't take her deal, obviously. So
Did you kill her or let her live?
That's the thing. When because she goes after you. So I killed her. And then when I
Same.
finished the mission, Judy's mad at me. And I'm like, why are you mad? Like she threw things out of whack. She was
Yeah,
trying to, sweeten the deal for herself and fuck us over. No. Like, what does it matter that I killed? So I went back and I just I didn't kill her. I took her down, but I didn't kill her. And then Judy was happy, but it was just like, why are you upset? There's so many times where Judy gets upset, and I'm just like, why?
she's a very emotional gal.
Yes, she is.
She is.
Which I understood like why she would separate in the end, because like her whole goal is to leave Night City. She doesn't want to be there, and B by the end is kind of stuck in Night City because that's the only chance at living that they have.
Yeah.
So, well, I saw it. Well, yeah, you're right, but you get my point. When you do when you do the Crystal Palace ending.
Yeah,
Oh.
I get you there. How hard were you guys hit when you walked back to find Evelyn dead?
Oh,
Especially how she died.
I was not ready for it. I was not ready
That was
because I didn't watch you play that portion, so it was a shock for me.
Yeah, that was
so dark and sudden and heart-wrenching.
What made it worse for me was I think that was the first thing that I did immediately after getting the first bit of the talking vending machine. So like doing that and then jumping back into the main story was like, oh,
okay,
what happened?
Yeah.
Well, and when Judy calls trauma team to come pick her up,
that's a very real
and they're like,
call.
It'll be a 2-day wait.
Yeah, and then if I threaten you, will you come faster because I committed a different crime now versus coming to pick the body up? Like, oh my god. Oh,
heart-wrenching.
That was just, and then like they give you the option to kind of try to, what exactly was it, to try and get information. Well, while she was comatose, they give you an option to try and get information out of her. Did you guys try and get information out of her?
I did.
When she's laying, you did?
Oh, like catatonic?
Yeah, when she's catatonic before that.
Yeah, I don't remember if I tried to like get any questions out of her. I was just like, I think it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heart-wrenching because of what she went through.
I think for me was I mostly was just trying to make her feel comfortable, and then I tried asking one question, and then it was just like, nope, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, she like curls up, and it's just like, oh.
We pulled a Ronette Pulaski on her. I'm sorry. I've been visiting Twin Peaks a lot lately.
Yeah, he's been on a Twin Peaks kick, and it's driving me absolutely insane.
Right. Kiana, that hit you pretty hard when she, I guess, ended herself. I don't know what I can say with YouTube and TikTok anymore.
True. Yeah, it really hit me hard. I remember the first time that I played it, I was like, "Oh, I'm sad."
Yeah.
And I liked her voice actress too, because that was like that. It was somebody that I knew from like Justice League and everything. Who was the voice actress?
Who was her voice actress again?
For Evelyn
I think-
Parker. I think it was like Carrie. Wait, what was? Damn it! Hold on. I'm gonna ask Google.
I'm gonna ask Google.
Who
I think
voiced
the last time we
Evelyn
even
Parker?
hear her voice is during the heist. You call her to see like what to do with the relic, and that's the last time you hear from her.
It was Kari Walgren, who's a
Oh,
very good voice
her.
actress. Yeah.
Who?
Did she,
Yeah,
did
she's
she
really,
voice
really
Wonder
good.
Woman or did she voice Wonder Woman or Hawk Girl?
I think she was Hawk Girl.
No, she was Supergirl, I think.
Oh, Supergirl. Oh, nice.
I think so.
Nice.
Really good.
Okay, so
But yeah, I mean, obviously for other reasons beyond the fact that her voice actress is good. But I mean, like in storyline and stuff, yeah, I didn't expect her to die. Like that was my whole thing, was that
Or for
I was sad, and then Judy's reaction to it just made me even sadder. I was just like, oh man, I
Judy's
can't believe
reaction.
that the way that she was killed as well in the game. It's brutal.
I mean,
And-
especially just the fate that she met, like the
Yeah.
things that were done to her.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Like-
not good. That mission finding her.
It's heartbreaking.
Ugh. And
It was
just
really
like just the call, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but he's like, "Can you just come here, please? I need you now." And just you never hear. She's not flirty. She's not whatever.
No.
Like also the dialogue after. I know we're just coming out of this, but kind of back into the romance of things. When the calls with these people during these romance missions, where they're kind of like, "All right, now that we're done sucking each other off, what do you need?" Like when they're just telling each other that they're the greatest at whatever,
Mhm.
and then the added options afterwards with like Judy, where you have to pass the test with her mother.
Yes, no, with her grandmother.
With grandmother. I was just like, where she's like, "My grandmother messaged you." Oh God! 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 It was so adorable.
It was, and then like again passing the test, like talking with her grandmother, and it's so cute and it's so real, it's so sweet, and it's like I loved
that
it.
went-
I loved it.
That went back to the after you're out of the loyalty missions, these people didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they gave you more stuff to get it through, and then like pretty sure Pan Am sends you nudes after a while.
does he?
It's like
Oh, why didn't you?
Judy's an innocent girl, okay?
No, she's not.
One gets you nudes, one gets you talking with the grandmother. They were very different people. And now for her romance, even and her romance mission, were you the whole brain dance thing with her at the very end? I thought was very well done. Some people considered it boring. I don't get that, where you're basically doing a live brain dance of all her childhood memories and stuff like that in that flooded city.
I mean, the scuba
Who
diving thing.
found that boring?
They're just like nothing happens. I was just, dude,
Fucking world building.
like,
It's
what do you
world
want?
building. Not only that, but she's so vulnerable that whole
Mhm.
time.
Oh, when they're diving and everything?
Yeah,
Yes.
and they're
Yeah.
in that sunken
That's
part
awesome.
of Night City. That's what in the TikTok infected brain is going on with these people that thinks that cool conceptual shit is boring. That caught me off guard when,
Dude.
as she's experiencing everything, you hear like the echoes of her childhood, and you're temporarily like
Mhm.
emotionally and psychically linked that you can hear it. And V's just like, wait, well, did you hear that right now? I heard bells too. And it's just like, oh shit, that's
Mhm.
so conceptually cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is. That was
There
one of the ones
were-
where like that team was cooking when they made this.
There were a lot of bugs in my first playthrough of this game, and I was still, I was kind of going through like the moment of like having this mixed reaction to it, honestly. Where I would complain about the bugs and just be like, but there's something here. And then that mission happened. And I say mission, that quest, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
happened. And that was the thing that cemented the fact that I love this game.
Mhm.
In spite of its flaws, even back then, and now it's even better. So it's like,
Yeah.
The
Now-
mission where nothing happens.
Yes.
That
It's
was
one of the best
that was
ones.
the thing that actually got me to love this game, and that was playing as male V. I didn't even romance Judy at the time. It
But,
was
like,
just that moment of like, but I loved her as a
Yeah.
character, and so I was like, you know, like when she said, "I, you know, you go back. I need to be alone now," and she's sitting there on the dock, and I'm just like, I did not want to leave. Literally, my character's just standing there, going like, just looking at Judy and just being like, I don't want to leave you. You know, I don't want you to go. Don't go.
Mhm.
Stay.
Mhm.
And I want to stay.
Uh-huh.
And that was the point where I was like, okay, this game kind of has me now. But for a while there, it was touch and go. I did not love it as much as I do now. Just
Yeah.
because of like the technical issues that I was having, and just the fact that I was like, there is something that I don't like here, and there's something that I absolutely do love. Hi, Crafty.
Yo, Crafty. What's up?
It really shows the whole thing of just how good characters can really just go a long way.
Mm-hmm. Were you expecting, as you were about to get in it with her, that the mission would fail and all those people end up dying?
I was not expecting when you do the whole
When you get back to the house, when you get back into the house and you meet her in the bathroom, her two friends died while they were wrangling up everything at the club.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was heartbreaking as well. That was terrible.
Yeah. That was, and then you end up still having a very good romantic moment. I didn't know I liked spider webs that much. God, Judy is an attractive woman. Like I have this joke going around, obviously on this channel and other things. That anyone that knows me, that I have a type, and it's lesbians. One of my best friends, Chris, was just like, anytime a person comes up in a trailer, he's like, you're going to like that person, and she's going to end up being a lesbian, and it happens every time. It never fails. So that's just one of those of just like, one day I'm going to find a woman that looks like this that isn't a lesbian, and it's going to be great. But yeah, those were intense. That didn't feel like, that felt like a, I don't know if it was the first person aspect of it that made it kind of feel more intense, but that one was more of a, compared to Pan Am's, that one was personal. Pan Am's was erotic.
Mm-hmm.
One felt more, I want to say, heartfelt, and the other one was more of two high schoolers in an afternoon. The other one felt like two like people that legitimately fell in love and have been together for years, kind of thing. They made them feel very different. Couldn't tell you how Carrier Rivers are, but that's the two that I got from that.
I don't really know much about Carrie's romance. River's romance, I did watch it just to see if like
He was
wanted-
packing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. The
I bet he was.
The sex scene is pretty hot, but
It's
that's
hot.
about it. Like he's just kind of.
He is
He's
very
just
much
not
the cop in the
Not your
city
type.
that does the good guy thing.
See,
His missions are more interesting than he is.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him being like the dude in Kung Fury, just going there like, I'm a cop and damn good at my job.
I just felt like he
my
wasn't mature
bicep.
enough.
What was that?
I just felt like he wasn't mature enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Perhaps.
yeah. It just. I don't know how to explain it. He's because
He's not a complicated guy.
no.
You know? Yeah.
No.
like say what you will, because I think we could all universally agree, like we probably wouldn't romance Carrie,
I wouldn't.
No.
but like
He's
at
a
the
bit
very-
too psychotic for me.
but at the very least, Carrie's
I
psychotic.
like him, though.
And he's
Yeah.
an enjoyable kind of psychoticism where it's just like, okay, he's like the little brother.
Yeah, but
It's the
he's
little
in his
brother you have to keep out of jail.
90s or 80s.
Hey, he's 80 or 90 years young in this universe still. Okay, like
Hey, Rogue was also like 90, and I'm just saying.
yeah, okay, we can't like
Oh yeah, but Rogue shows her age.
Yeah, I guess.
She's a very mature woman, but Carrie
That is
feels
true.
like he feels like a celebrity that in their late 20s who's kind of becoming irrelevant, kind of throwing a tantrum over it.
yeah, but Crystal,
Yeah.
I posit he's funny.
He's funny. He's fun. I would totally hang out with him.
That's what I'm
especially-
saying. Like, I would want to
Yeah.
hang out with, like, compared to River outside of like those missions. I would actually want to hang out with Carrie.
I would want to hang
I
out
would-
with him. I just wouldn't want to romance him.
With River, I wouldn't want to romance him personally, and I also wouldn't want to hang out with him. I'd want to hang out with his family more than him.
Yeah,
It's just
I
kinda-
did think it. Yeah,
I think there's a place in a possible future female V for River. There's a place in her life for River. I think so. I think
A
there's a
eulogy
possibility
at the
there.
funeral. I'm sorry, that was funny.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I was saying we could go through Pan Am's now. I'm not going to try and go through every little bit because it might take a while. But what were your favorite parts, I should say, of Pan Am's whole thing? And did you, I want to say,
ending.
like how it went?
Well, listen, conceptually, I'll just get like that stuff out of the way. Conceptually, oh hey, look, there's someone on your side. Conceptually, Pan Am's sex scene is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like that, it's one of the few times where I feel like the game really leans into the hard sci-fi, which is weird to say because I feel like, of course, it's sci-fi, it's cyberpunk and so forth, but there's not a lot of times where it goes really hard into the sci-fi, except for like when you go into the net and almost everything involving Johnny. But outside of that, it feels like a regular open world sometimes. So having that play out and also just that charged environment, it was like, okay, I see where you're going with this game, and I condone this 100%. But what do you think? Like, as far as like Pan Am's missions?
Oh well, I mean, as female V, she's it's a lot less deep because thank you. She just felt like a gal pal.
Yeah.
It was sweet. It was nice. It was just like we're just girls doing girl stuff and flying tanks.
Now, I did see that some people, I didn't agree with this, but I guess I could see it from some point, at first didn't like her because they felt like she was, well, other than the fact you get to see her ass bent over the hood of a car. They liked that. But that they felt like she was a bit much at first, like she was a little bit too screamy and kind of just angry at first, and then she calmed down. Did any of you guys feel that at all?
No.
I mean, I mean, I did, but we're Hispanic, so we're kind of used to that.
Yeah. And it makes those moments where she does open up, especially like if you do romance her, it makes those moments where she opens up just kind of even more like, I see you. Like one moment that I genuinely love is when you're at the train station and you just finished like going over everything and you go down to ground level and it's nighttime and you look up at the stars and you got to wait for the next day or something like that. And then you look up at the stars and it's you and Pan Am and you're just talking about the astronomy and everything. That was a genuinely beautiful moment. That's just kind of like, all right, I see that there are layers here to Pan Am. And I like that it's kind of Pan Am is an inverse of Judy in that sense, where Judy kind of has like this very sweet, I feel like she wears her heart on her sleeve, for the most part, like throughout the rest of the game, and then you get to know her and you find out that she's a lot more withdrawn on the inside. It has all that kind of like hardness just from how Night City has treated her. And meanwhile, with Pan Am, from the outset, she's very hard and very tough and everything like that. But then you get to know her, and she's a lot more vulnerable than you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa,
Oh,
deja
absolutely.
vu. It's had that deja vu moment where you have like a dream or something, and then you're at that particular point. Jesus.
Good reflection between that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Pan Am, it's like she's fiery and she's passionate, and that's something that's very attractive to me personally. So like I loved her character from minute one, and I didn't mind that she was kind of angry. Like she had a lot of that rage to her, but I don't really mind that. And I wanted to ask Josh and Crystal, did you guys run into her in like the opening bit of the game when you first get to the afterlife?
What?
No.
She's in
She's
there
there.
having a bitch fest with Rogue for a little bit and then leaves.
Yeah, she leaves.
Huh.
And I
did not know
found
that.
that out with a video or something. And like, so my first playthrough, I completely missed her. And then my second playthrough this time, I actually went and saw her, and I followed her as she walked out of Afterlife, because I was just like, look at that booty. Look at that booty. It'd be right there.
Especially like I in my mind I couldn't like betray her to Rogue, because it's just like, hey, she's just trying to get by like the rest of us, so like I'm gonna help her out, but hey, just remember to help me out. And I think her missions also have some of the best action. Like I really like when you have to like intercept that like that shit that's flying into town.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Get that government agent.
And the best thing about it is also like just the little moments that you get at Johnny and how he reacts to you trying to really get in with Pan Am. Like I love when there's like that big sandstorm and you're hiding out with Saul and Pan Am
yeah.
and that. And
Was it
you know,
Darude Sandstorm? I'm sorry, I had to. I couldn't
and you have that little
Anyway.
moment where Pan Am's like resting on you and you're having like little banter about being at a hotel or something
Yes.
like that, and then she goes to sleep, and then Johnny comes in on behalf of the staff at the Motion View Hotel.
Hey, hell.
Good night.
Good night.
And it's just like, Johnny.
Johnny's interactions, like with the romances, it's hilarious. I love his reaction after
his
Bibber's
reactions.
romance. He's like, I can't believe you made me fuck a copy.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Another great thing that comes from the loyalty missions with Pan Am, you also get to meet more of the Aldecados. I love that group of side characters. I love Mitch in particular. Mitch is so
Mitch and Scorpion.
Mhm.
Mitch and Scorpion, and when you have to do that little
Funeral, that send off for Scorpion.
I
What's in
was
the-
sad Scorpion got killed.
what's in this car? Oh, it's C4. What the fuck?
And then he gives you a Scorpion toy that is clearly from MK10. Like, you just had this in here. I don't know what this is. It's like, that's how he got the name Scorpion? Really?
Of course it is.
I'll
it's
get more
fantastic.
into I'll get more into Pan Am later when we get to the endings, because I'll say this, with this game, I really did try to take the RPG aspect, and I really tried to put a lot of myself into the game with this. So I'll touch on Pan Am a lot more later on, like when we discuss the endings, which I think should give way to what I picked. But
I mean, my female V definitely wanted to get in touch more with Pan Am.
I would say Pan Am's loyalty mission isn't like they're not my favorite loyalty missions, but the set pieces are really damn good.
Oh, they're ridiculous.
Pan Am is fun with female V because, like I said, it's just like we're just gal pals doing what girls do, you know, shooting tanks and.
And with
Yeah.
male V, you're shooting something else, but.
Yeah. But I never really felt like, yeah, she's hot, and it was like, that ass looked fine, but it wasn't like, oh, I need her. I need her.
I almost choked on my potato chip, Josh. Thank you for that. I almost died on stream.
And she almost choked on something else. What?
Yeah. And it wasn't
Wait,
my
I don't know if
potato
I'm
chip.
doubting Pan Am's ability. She might not have almost choked, but anyway.
Dude, no, I love Pan Am, and like the first playthrough that I had with male V definitely romance Pan Am. And female V was tempted, although Pan Am doesn't swing that way. But like I said, little candlelight dinner, little Barry White, little Barry White. You're in the mood.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Pan Am would be the person to be fucking you with Guns N' Roses playing in the background. If I'm going to be really honest.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
That's so wrong.
She would be all about Welcome to the Jungle.
No, that's like we're getting very bad. I'm like, I think she would want to, I don't think Pan Am's a woman that's ever on bottom. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No.
I just don't think that's
Fine
something
with
she's
me.
going to let happen.
Fine with me.
Let happen.
Step on me, Pan Am mommy.
Strong top.
Please do.
All right.
Please do
So what
with your
goes on
combat
to,
boots.
and this kind of says a lot considering what happens in Evelyn's, and Judy's solo missions. River might have one of the most screwed up set of missions ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
It's
that
exactly
creeped
what you
me
said,
out.
that his missions are more interesting than he is.
Yeah.
Plus, with his missions, you get to see the BB from Death Stranding. You don't get that with anybody else's mission.
When's that?
When you're breaking into like the evidence, when you're breaking into the police station, I think, and you're
Yeah,
looking
you
at
do.
the evidence, you could find the BB. You can find Lou.
What?
Yeah.
I don't
You
remember
can
that.
find Hideo Kojima's in this game too.
Yeah.
He's in Confetti
Yeah.
Plaza.
Yes.
But like
That is so ridiculous. I love Kojima.
I love
great.
though. River's loyalty missions might be my personal favorite because of the fact I love the detective side of it. I love when shit gets all noir, and on top of that, it's got the most variance for shit to go wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You also meet him through the paralysis we were talking about earlier. That's one thing I love, how they mix missions with giving you your side missions and interconnecting them with people. That's why when they never call about each other later, I'm just kind of like, you meet them because of all these other people. Why aren't we calling? Like, when you see the paralysis and shit's going wrong, why aren't we calling River?
Hey, you ever notice that
True.
like shit seems a little bit heightened when you're around the paralysis? The number you've dialed is not in service.
Who's that?
Wait a minute.
You just go visit River and the trailer house is just gone. Like, it's not abandoned. The whole house is gone.
But like, especially the content of what they were getting into, like, ooh boy.
You want to know what it kind of reminded me of, in a way? In a weird way, the boys with Black Noir were like the obsessive cartoon characters and all that horse shit playing around and the
Yes. Yes.
A side mission that I
I get
just
that.
remembered, the that one homeless guy, Gary.
Yes.
He's by the Misty's shop.
Yeah, I'm Gary.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
That ends.
The end is, yes.
Mhm.
Like going in on, like listening in on that Maelstrom thing.
Convo? Yeah. Yeah.
That gets into like the conspiracy theory territory, which I don't think we should go down.
No, we don't. No, we don't need to do that. No, we get enough of the behind the black wall shit, which we'll get into with other endings and stuff.
What-
But
What did you
Maelstrom,
think of
Lilith,
the monk?
the-
The weird monk mission where like he just
yeah.
pops up every once in a while and like tells you to meditate and then you meditate and then it leads
Honestly,
to
those
pretty much
were
nothing.
boring. I didn't like those.
I like those.
I didn't like those.
I didn't mind it, but you kind of didn't get a lot out of it, other than like that's one of the ones game asking you to think kind of things, and it's going to vary between people. So
I didn't like it because I consistently got that glitch where you like stare down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was just like I'm staring at dirt.
For a minute, I thought you were talking about the mission with the monks that were modifying themselves, and you had to rescue them from the
Oh,
like container.
Oh no,
is
that one was actually kind of
I
cool.
love that mission. That was. I wish
Okay.
they had explored that a little bit more in the game. The
Mhm.
Brock,
monks and
have you heard of this particular quest line where it's like the most complicated one in the game, where people were like on Reddit trying to solve it and everything, and there were like these codes and everything, and it leads you to this like it's like numbers, and like there's like a portal there that people think was like a reference to Witcher.
Oh, yeah, I never got anything out of that, but I know what you're talking about. It was
Yeah.
a giant fetch questy type thing that kind of just
Yeah.
got you to a. Yeah,
They had
I
like a
don't.
weird like Wolfenstein clone or like a Doom clone game that was like all old school like that, like an old school
Yeah,
first-person shooter.
it's weird. It's
I don't
It
know
was
what you're
so
talking about.
weird.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Mm.
lot. Forced body mods is a horrifying concept. Yeah, it is. Like
Agreed.
that, and the other one that I'll get in quick. I don't think I've ever been more motivated in this entire mission than when you track down those two guys that are selling like child pornography, like
Mm.
brain dances, and they're in the chairs. No, dude, please
Oh,
spare
yeah.
us. We're not doing it. No, you are getting the full clip, both of you. No.
Yeah, that was one of those where it's like, no, like I said, at that point,
No.
my V is like, if I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, and
I'm
then
going
I
to
just
kill you.
yeah, no
It's like,
question.
nope, you deserve death.
Yeah. Going back to Rivers, the whole like they're literally got vacuum seals inside these kids to be prolonging their life to do this screwed up garbage, and you're seeing how messed up the guys that did it, and then you smash cut from that. This is why I like Knives, more personal, more painful. You really see a true person before they die. So I knew your friends better than you. But do you want to know which ones were cowards?
How many of my friends did you kill? He's like 6, and then he goes
6.
like,
But I love that quote. I love that quote too. I'm not as high as the Dark Knight as everybody else, but I love that quote. But then you get the smash cut of one of the most adorable points in the game when you're playing like the laser tag competition with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was adorable. And like, I will tell you, why I kind of related to River, even though I didn't want to romance him. I have been put in that super awkward family dinner situation thing before. And oh, did I like I gotta like step away because it was a bit too real type situations. And it's, like they did it well. They made the game awkward well, and normally that's not how it is. It's awkward because they didn't make it well. So I'll give it that. And the moment of him giving up his gun to you because he feels like he's done,
Yeah,
that was kind of nice. I very much feel from his look and his get up like he was meant to be like the Deckard of this game, kind of. Even though
kind of.
you can find, if you go on a rooftop,
Yes,
what's that guy's name?
Rutger Hauer.
It was Rutger Hauer, but what's the character's name?
Roy Batty.
Roy Batty. You can find
Batty.
him in that like stance where he dies,
Yes.
like rusted on a roof in Night City. Don't
What?
remember where, but you can find him.
It's on the top of a hotel. I was looking for it. I was trying to find it. It's on like it's right in the middle of the city almost, and it's on the top of a hotel. You got to go in an elevator, and it's like a full Blade Runner thing. If you go at night, they have like the flyby too, with like the light shining through and everything, and it's so atmospheric and cool. And I saw that the first time on Susie Hunter's video, like her first video that she made for the base game. And that story that she tells while she's actually walking through that portion of the game, like
It's awesome.
I was like, my God, Susie, I love you so much, because that was just an amazing freaking video, an amazing part of that video.
Yes. All right. So the drunk stepbrother of the romance options, Carrie, is the most tied to you of any of the characters, shockingly, kind of, because you have to like you're actually like a former bandmate, whether you want to admit it or not, in this whole deal. That's what a build sander and a hammer driller for. Y'all are having an intense conversation in those comments. Holy shit. Oh boy.
Don't worry, they're all my friends. They're good. They're fine.
Belt sander and a hammer drill. Good lord. Anyway, how did you feel about like that you had to break in and kind of prove yourself to Carrie? How did you feel about everything with Carrie and the us cracks?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I looking at it from like a female V perspective, I enjoyed it because he's just my cracked out gay friend. I get up to shenanigans with him. It's fun. It's cool. But looking at it from what I assume, like somebody playing it as male V, I don't see him as a good romance option.
He's absolutely not.
No, he's off kilter is a good way to put it. It's just like, all right, they want to use my sample in a song, and I didn't say they could do it. So what I think we should do is throw grenades at their equipment van, and then go backstage and threaten them.
He's like a real life. He's like a fucking Sunny in Philadelphia character.
Oh my god, you're totally right.
That's why I love him. Like as male V, I love him because I know we have at some point we've gained a friend that's just like their immediate instinct is to go to Delta, like DEFCON 1. It's just like, whoa, hold on. And I loved the constant escalation of it. It's like, all right, Carrie, what are we doing? We're blowing up the van. It's like, yeah, we gotta make a statement. It's like, Carrie, can't you just talk to them? I mean, I could, but what about this? This is what Johnny would have done.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Johnny was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Carrie hasn't lost his step. And you're just stuck between two crackheads. It's just like, oh, no. I got to be the sane one. And I love the conclusion that it gets to with that, where you finally, for me at least, we finally get to the Us Cracks concert, and we're just sneaking our way through, just getting through and everything. And I don't know if you had the same thing, Crystal, where it's after getting through everything, the Us Cracks are just like, oh my god, we actually love you.
Yeah, oh my god,
yeah, and he's just like, he's
he's
yeah, well,
good.
I don't care.
And it's just like, what do you think I should do, V? And my V was just like, Carrie, just go along with it.
Just enjoy it.
Just relax. Hey, look, Blackpink is sponsoring you, okay? Gain the popularity of K-pop.
Yes, that's where I'm like in my situation where I'm sitting here. I'm like, man, if Carrie was straight, this would be a very different situation. You're like, what should I do with these three unbelievably attractive women that want to sample my song and go on tour with me? Oh, I don't know, Carrie. What do you want to do?
And
what do you want?
See, I took it as Carrie was bi. I don't remember him being explicitly gay.
No, because if you try to romance him as
he
female,
shuts you down as female V.
Yeah. Like he just straight up puts you down.
Because I want to say there's something. Doesn't Johnny give him some shit about being gay in one of the flashbacks?
I feel like that. I feel like he does.
I'm not entirely sure. I just know that he's the one that you talk with the most.
Oh, I think it's because at some point. Oh, right, that's what it was. I think Johnny mentions that him and Carrie would go down to that one gay strip club. And they would just bro it out with male strippers. I think it was Johnny that kind of swung both ways.
Off, mate. Yeah, Bowie, Jagger, Tupac, everybody.
Tupac. Lord. But yeah, I got a weird glitch in I was about to say Yuri's and Carrie's mission at the very end, where like my favorite part, where he's just like, Carrie, whose yacht is this? It's the head of the fucking label. Did you just start backing the shit out of the? And I got
Yo.
a glitch to where you like couldn't pick up something to start destroying it, so it just sat there,
Aww.
and I couldn't do anything. It took quite a few
Man.
times to get it through, but yeah,
You guys
that
all
was
destroyed
great.
the ship, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I was just like, screw this guy. I know how badly music labels screw over people. Are you kidding me? This guy's done.
Hey, if anything, V was more of a manager to carry than his fucking label.
Oh yeah.
The fact that we had to
True.
get through to Carrie to see, hey, look, you can ride the K-pop wave. It's okay. And they didn't even think, what if we just combine them?
This game is so fun with just how many hats you put on. You're a talent manager. You're a detective. You're a secret agent.
You're a Roman crucifying Jesus.
Every time it comes up, I try to explain to people that this mission is in the game and they don't believe me. Let's get around as they should. Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
You're correct, Legion.
Yeah, but the hats, just the different roles, it's so involved, and it really goes a long way to making you not want to leave Night City.
Oh yeah. Like I
That's
remember feeling that so strongly when I was finishing it. I don't want to walk away.
Yeah.
I can't. This place
That's
is
so
too. It what's
It's
that?
good.
What's in the line?
Just when I thought I was out,
They
bring me back in.
Yeah, that was one of those things where when we got all the endings, and like there was no way to technically save V for sure, and I'm just like, y'all fuckers, I want a sequel in Night City. What are we doing? And then the DLC came out, and I'm kind of like, oh, you kind of get that, but you don't get that. Damn it. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna have to go back and replay Cyberpunk. Yeah, do it. I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk off stream because I need to do some other stuff on stream. But anyway, so
Yep.
yeah, and also just the fact that you get to have the actual concert as Samurai is
Oh,
a pretty sick moment.
Oh my god.
That was
That
just
is
so awesome.
that
The
is one
concert
of my
was
most
great.
favorite missions.
Yeah,
ever.
that was great.
Maybe ever in a video game, honestly.
Yeah, but
It's
So-
so good.
before we get too far in the story or like the actual endings itself here, what were
Yeah.
your favorite, honest to God, actual story missions, and how did you feel about Johnny throughout the entire thing? Crystal, you can go first.
Yeah, you go. I'm gonna do this real quick.
the whole time I was. I don't know how I felt about Johnny at first. It was mainly just like, oh, this is cool. Oh, you're an asshole. And then
There's a
seeing
lot of that.
like seeing some of his memories, you're like, oh, you're a piece of shit. Like you're still even now a piece of shit, but you're genuine at very least.
You're my piece of shit.
You're my piece of shit. And it kind of gets
You're our
towards the end.
scumbag, like MJF.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I didn't do the most of like the Johnny missions, like chipping in, or the stuff with Rogue, or the stuff with Gary, or Best Isis. I didn't do that until the very end of
Okay.
my
Yeah.
first playthrough. And my relationship with Johnny very much like grew then towards the end of the game. Especially like when he goes to give you his dog tags.
Yeah.
That mission,
Yeah.
that moment. Oh wow! Like there's so many great moments with Johnny, but I found myself by the end feeling like he was an older brother,
Yep.
and I went with the. Like I said, this kind of goes into like the ending, but I did the Don't Fear the Reaper ending. I specifically went out of my way to go for that one because I knew the endings at that point. I knew like the options. I didn't know what happened in each ending, but I knew the options. And I knew that I didn't want to bring anybody into the into Mikoshi. So I did that, and the dialogue options that you have to pick after, like when you go to find Johnny's grave or wherever it is,
Yes.
you have to get on his shit. You have to be mad at him. Because he's like, you're the only person who like
Cares.
put up with me this much, and you know me probably the most because we're sharing the same mind.
Yeah.
And you have to say like, no, Johnny, you fucked that up too, and you have to get mad at him. And I feel like at that point, I was fully in love with Johnny because he gets genuinely like, I'm sorry. And then you're able to do the Don't Fear the Reaper ending, which is just perfect. It's perfect.
Yes.
It's the best ending.
Yeah. That is the scene where you nail for sure. That exact one is where you nail for sure if you can get all of Johnny's stuff perfectly. And you kind of have to. There's certain points the way you do that dialogue where you can screw it up. Like you said, you actually have to be upset with him. You can't just be happy the whole way, which I appreciate them showing. Like, you have to acknowledge that he's done some stupid shit. But yeah, any favorite story mission that you want to mention that's not an ending that you really liked?
Oh, I was thinking of one right now when you have to. It's with Johnny. You know what? You answer because I need to remember which mission it was.
So as far as strict story missions go, there are a few that I really love. One that I just adore for the vibe of it is when you have to go, I believe, intercept Hanako. And
in the parade.
The parade.
It's the parade, and just that whole the
aesthetic
of it, the just being in the middle of it, it made me feel like, oh, this is a cross between Blade Runner 2049 and fucking Skyfall. And I adored just playing through that section, and then just the chaos that erupts afterward. Which
in that hotel, like way on the edge of Night City, where you're just sitting there with a shotgun and Johnny.
Yes.
Oh, it's so tense.
Oh god. Oh god.
Like, that's one of the story missions that I adore, and the other one that I really love too is I think it would probably go to just really early on, and I think that just really says something to like how gripping the story is when you're actually going to get when you witness the murder of what's the main Arasaka dude's name?
Saburo.
Saburo Akasaka.
Yeah, when you witness his murder by his son, just everything building up to that. At that point, I was already getting the hang of everything, so it's like, okay, I feel like this is a nice vertical slice for the world, and just kind of really getting into it. Like, the game's finally okay. Training wheels are off. Here's the last big story thing to get you fully into the world. Here you go. And just everything about that atmosphere, the sneaking around, getting to see Adam Smasher, and just getting to really get the main big players of this overarching story.
I know, like the theory that Adam Smasher knew you and Jackie were in the wall.
I personally love it because it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That freaky motherfucker just
that little shit.
Oh yeah.
God.
He
And
would
then
know. He would
Adam
have scanned
Smasher,
it.
his fucking dialogue. Like,
Oh,
especially
yeah,
during that
when you're
one
looking at
mission.
the brain dance with Evelyn and Judy.
You're a nice cut of fuckable meat. It's like, oh, Jesus,
It's like,
fuck.
oh my god.
Can you say that?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, Mr. No Genitals, that was some rough.
Just another thing is just like, in general, the hunt for Evelyn is really good too.
Oh yeah.
Just jumping from club to club, and then seeing that that one fucking dude that helps out the Joy toys.
Oh, Mr. Hands? No, not Mr. Hands.
No, Mr. Hands is cool. He's one of the coolest fixers.
No, Mr.
Finger-
Frick's the
Fingers.
fingers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I let that guy have it.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
What sucks is that you lock yourself out of some pretty good cyberware because of that, but you have to push his shit in.
He might be the creepiest looking character in the entire game.
Agreed.
Oh,
okay. So my answer for my favorite story mission, I'm not sure if this one counts, but I can't remember the name of the mission, but it's the one where you first use the, what is it called? The pseudotrizine?
Oh, the drug?
Yeah.
That lets Johnny take over?
First time that you use that lets Johnny take over, and he just goes hog wild.
Yep.
As soon as you give him the steering wheel.
I forgot how intense that was and how well edited it was.
Yes.
To be honest, that is one of the most like perfectly edited sequences in a video game that I've seen in a long time. So good. So intense.
It is. It's like you're going from, it's like, you want to come with me in the car? All that crash, the girl dies. It's just, Johnny, what are we actually doing? We need you to do this for a day, and you're losing it.
Did she die in yours?
Well, from my interpretation was that she was going to, because that crash is not good.
Well, I
don't think you're remembering how bad that crash was.
No, it was really bad, but like she comes out of it, and in my like I just played it yesterday, and she came like he pulled her out, and like she
like she just sits down next to him, and I think they have to smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I remember her being in a lot worse condition when she gets out.
Maybe it's
like that was the funny thing. That was the funny thing about it. It was because he does all this stupid shit, but in the very end, he still gets the information that you guys needed.
Yes, and then he gets you a tattoo also.
Right, the Billy Goat.
Yeah, it's so good. You can get the Billy Goat, or isn't it? You can get one like Johnny plus V forever or something like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really? Aww.
Yeah, there's options. Yeah, there's options. It's pretty great.
Shut up.
Yes. Kiona, was there you gotta go. For me, like honestly, of course the tower heist was very good. Just going into the church with the Voodoo Boys was great. Going into Hack that whole section where you have to get in with the Voodoo Boys and go into that ice bath to get to Alt Cunningham on the other side. That whole thing with Blackwatch and all them, that was intense. Did you give the Voodoo Boys up, or did you kill the Blackwatch person?
What did you do?
I gave up the Voodoo Boys, but I was able to hack, or I was able to undo the thing that the Netwatch guy had done.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that was intense because you can either just walk out of there or shoot everybody on the way out. That's what I just love. They're just like we mentioned it before. We can talk or just not. There's always the option to murder everyone. Like even in the gigs you get, you'll still get paid, but the handler is going to be like, "Dude, I told you to be stealthy. Everyone's dead. What are you? Why?"
Yeah.
It is very satisfying though, cause on that particular mission, because for me, at that point, I was following Johnny's lead, and Johnny's just like, "Oh, this is such a fucking setup. I can't believe you're entertaining this, V." And then I took out the Netwatch guy, helped out the Voodoo Boys, and then they tried to fucking fry me.
Yeah.
And then it was worth it just to get that reaction when you walk back, and then Johnny's just like, "It looks like they fucked us, V. I'm sorry about that, but let's go talk with them." And then you start walking back, and everyone's just like, "Oh shit, hey, we can go take you to go see what the fuck's his name." And then I'm just like, "No, I'll walk there."
No, I'm good.
Okay, and then you go over to that fucking guy, and he's just like, "This is unexpected." It's just like, you fucking asshole. You tried to fucking fry me. It's just like,
Yes.
I did not know you were made of sterner stuff.
Yeah.
That
Only-
reminds me. That reminds me of
regret.
that side mission where you get that bad brain dance and you wind up naked.
Oh my
and
god,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. That was the one I was going to bring up, actually. That was the one. You get
Uh,
the bad brain dance, and then it turns out to be just like you're just in the same exact location that you were earlier in the game
yes, with
with
what's her
with
name?
Jackie and
Sandra
like
Dorset.
Sandra
Yeah.
Dorset.
Sandra
Yeah,
Dorset, yeah.
man, that mission is one hell of an entrance. Freaking
Mhm.
medevac coming in off the hovering thing and just like, get the fuck back. Like, I understand it. I'm sorry. Oh,
I just wish that there was a new game plus so that way I could do that mission the way that I've always wanted to.
Yes.
yes, that is my only regret about this game is it doesn't have a new game plus. I have so much money because I did that dupe glitch that you can't do
Yeah.
as easy anymore. I have so much money.
So at the end of my game last night, at the very end of my game, when I got to the ending, it took away my money. All the money's gone.
Damn.
They fixed it. Yeah, they do not let you keep your money anymore. It's gone.
Yeah, it's something. But Josh, you want to exactly say what you were gonna say?
I wish that there was that new game plus with everything so that way you could do that fucking mission exactly right, because literally from the word go, I wanted to do it stealthy. I wanted to just sneak in, stand on business, and then just get everything done. But no matter what, without fail, it will always devolve into a shootout. And it's like, no, I don't want to shoot right now.
Yes. Yeah, I hear you on that. But okay, so we've gotten through the main part, and obviously I didn't want to go through everything because like I can't really do this
There's
like
so
how you
much.
do with Mass Effect because there's like 26 main missions in here compared to like the 4 that we would normally talk about in a Mass Effect playthrough. But okay, so as far as endings, which ending did you get first, and which? Or I suppose we could talk about all of them. We'll do that. We could talk about all of them. Kiona, which ending did you get the first time?
First playthrough that I got, my very first ending that I got was the creepy one where you are in the lab with all the Arasaka techs, I think they are.
Oh, you did the Corpo ending first?
I did the Corpo ending first, and that was the one where like you get the little Rubik's cube thing or something, and then it
Oh.
turns like
I was
super
getting-
demonic on
I was
you,
getting
and I
so
I
pissed.
freaked out.
Yeah,
I
that's
freaked
the
out the
devil
first time
ending,
I
I
saw
think.
that. That was awesome.
So
Yeah, I sold my. Well, I mean, I was a Corpo V, so you know. Plus, it was male V, so you know he's kind of dumb.
yeah, that
But you
That
know what
whole
though?
ending's-
That was just the first ending that I got, and then the second ending that I ever got was the Crystal Palace on the moon.
nice.
Yeah.
Josh.
So this really plays into the V that I did because I picked the Corpo side and I wanted to just see what this would entail, and I wanted to see like whether or not it would be worth it to try and shoot back to the top. And then as I was going through the game, I felt like it would just be a lot more fitting for this V who has been to the top and then just flew too close to the sun, got back down to the streets and everything, that he would just not want to
Icarus-y.
shoot for that anymore. Like even in the tower heist and everything like that, when Jackie's just like, yo man, this is great, we're getting like actual champagne with actual sushi and everything, my view is just like, you know, Jackie, it's not worth it. Like, yeah, this is cool and all, but it's just not, it's not the best. We got a pretty good thing right now. I don't think we should be shooting for this. But then, you know, ultimately Jackie dies, and it started as trying to help out Jackie and so forth. But then over the course of the game, you know, I started making all these friends and everything. And then I met Pan Am. And at first it was just genuinely trying to see, like, how far can I push the flirting? And then it's like, oh, wait, but this is actually turning into something serious. Oh, I'm getting to know this character. I like this character a lot. I like her vulnerable side. I like getting to know that side of her. And then it just made me realize, oh no, I'm falling for Pan Am. Like, I'm actually falling for her. Oh shit. And then it gets to the end, and after following everything up, ultimately I chose the ending with the Aldecados because ultimately Johnny was just trying to be like, we can do this, you and me. There's no need to get everybody in trouble or anything like that. But when it came down to that choice, I thought, you know what? What's the harm in seeing? We've tried everything initially for, V trying to, again, shoot to the top. That lone wolf thing, that's ultimately what also got Johnny kind of killed, and he realized it way too late. Let me try forging my own path. I pulled a Miles Morales. Now I'm going to do my own thing. And it led to one of the sweetest moments, too, where, you get sworn in as an Aldecado and everything like that. You get to have that little shooting competition with the cowboy dude. What's his name? I call him Matt Mercer because that's what he reminds me.
Oh, shoot. Which is funny because Matt Mercer's in Edge Runners.
True.
I can't think of what his name is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then you follow that whole mission. You storm Arasaka, and there's that point where you think that Mitch died on the Scorpion, and you're just like, oh, fuck. Oh, no, this is what Johnny was talking about. No, I got to push on. And then it gets to that point with Adam Smasher, and just when Adam Smasher fucking kills Saul, that gutted me. And then Pan Am screams as Saul dies, and it's just like, all right, we're locked in. Let's kill this guy. And I have to say, when I fought Adam Smasher, it was just before they had fully patched Adam Smasher's boss. But I still had a pretty difficult time trying to fight him because I wasn't fully prepared for a boss fight because there's so little. And then at the end, I still chose ultimately to stay as V, as much as it sucked. Just, I have this thing for me, and even though I'm going to die, I want to die on my own terms, not chasing anything, but just living out the road. And it just felt like the most perfect ending for the V that I had created at that point. Someone who's streetwise, someone who is able to know like the inner secrets and everything like that, but ultimately has seen the top. And after getting kicked to the curb, he still refuses it and wants to live with freedom. And just, I don't know, it felt so perfect starting from the top and then becoming a nomad. And just that final image of V and Pan Am out on the Scorpion as they're passing over the water, and there's like reflecting sky, like the stars on there. It gets me emotional just thinking about it. Very, in my opinion, for the path that I took, that was a perfect ending.
Oh yeah, Crystal,
it's a pretty good ending. Yeah,
it is.
I like
it. I already said which ending I got. I did the Don't Fear the Reaper ending.
Yes.
I honestly do believe that it's the best ending. I just wish it had like a build up to when you actually storm Arasaka Tower.
Yeah. Because it would like a little drive up to it with talking with Johnny kind of thing.
Like a drive up or even like a walk up. Like I would have loved just that like tense moment walking up the steps to the entrance of Arasaka Tower, and like the music is just loud and blaring, and it's just like the blood is pumping in your ears, and then you finally walk through, and Johnny's just like, "All right, go get him."
That's so that whole moment where just like it just off we go, and like I was like the only thing I wish I honest to God they actually would have wished they would have played Don't Fear the Reaper as you were going through that.
That would have been perfect.
Oh, that's the only regret that I had. My first ending that I got was I went with Rogue and them, and because it was a pretty simple one to get through, had everything with Johnny, got all that fixed. And then of course Rogue dying, that sucks. And then you get the whole Mr. Blue Eyes that we never get a good explanation for him.
No.
But it makes more sense if you get more into what's going on with the moon, especially with Edge Runners.
And also the paralysis.
With the paralysis, yeah. So you get an idea for what they were going through. I will tell you, my favorite ending is female V going off with the Aldecaldos because you get to take Judy with you along with Pan Am. So like you're shooting through, and if you're romancing Judy, like you'll be in the truck on the dam waiting, and then all of a sudden Judy will come and like Pan Am will come up and be like, by the way, your guest is waiting, and you go by and Judy's just like kicking her legs on a box waiting with you ready to go. And she's like, you sure you're gonna go? He's like, I don't need the city, I got you. And then she gets in a car with Mitch and he's like, you take care of her, and then all you go riding off. The only thing that sucks is since you go with Pan Am in her car and she goes off with Mitch, that at the end when you're coasting, I wish you had Judy on top of the car, like sitting there with you as you're driving off. But I will tell you, the cutest damn thing ever is when you get the ending calls, Judy is sitting there while you're off making breakfast. She calls you and she's just like, now I don't know what your output or your input, you think of your input calling you while you're off making breakfast, but like, I just want to let you know that this is literally the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm so glad that I got to leave Night City with you. And then you start coming back and she hangs up the phone so that you don't see she left you a message. Like it's really cute. It's really cute.
Well, that's really the best ending to have with
That's
Judy.
the best ending, honestly.
It's kind of great.
That's up there with like the ending that you get when you romance Pan Am and you do the Aldecado's ending, and she's just talking about how like she was like stuck at another outpost like in the middle of it, and how granted there had been a lot of missions that she had to do, but she just tenderly says, I'll make it up to you when I get back to camp though. That's a promise. And I miss you, V. And it's just like, ugh. And then I believe immediately after you get hit with, if you're a dumbass like me and you save Takamura.
Oh, yes.
I saved him. So I had everybody alive so I could do all the endings. So yes, I did save him.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
I
I
think
never saved him.
You
No,
never
like-
saved him?
No.
You had to have, because otherwise you couldn't do the Corpo ending.
Oh no, you can still do the Corpo ending. Even if
I
I got
didn't
locked
save him,
out.
though.
I got locked out of it every single time because he wasn't
What?
alive.
Really?
Yep.
Huh, interesting.
You need to save him, and you need to not kill his buddy that's at the parade. Otherwise, I could never get the Corpo ending.
Well, if I saved him, then he definitely did not show up again.
because he's
I
not
don't
in
know.
the Corpo ending if
Maybe
you
it
guys-
He's
wasn't
not.
early?
He's not in. He just gives you a phone call at the end about the Corpo ending.
Oh, I
And
don't,
what,
Then mine
don't
might have
remember
glitched
that,
mine
but
out for
anyways.
never getting it. But anyway,
it's
what
been
happened-
years, so
what
maybe
happens
it
is
did.
basically he'll call you up if you save him, but you don't do any. If you do anything but the Corpo ending, again, the whiplash that comes up with just getting
it's
this really
mad.
getting tender call after tender call of just like, River just being like, hey, I'm going to get back to the people and I'm going to do my own private investigation thing. It's going to be great. And then just hearing from Judy how she's with her grandparents and how she's living her best life away from Night City because, again, I'm male V and I cannot romance
Yep.
her. But just how she's having so much fun out there and she feels alive, and then getting this really sweet message from Pan Am about how much she loves you and misses you and that she'll make it up to you for not being there back at camp. And then you just get a message from Takamura that's just like, in the old days when samurais would go ahead and fail a mission, they would say a poem or do a haiku before they take their life. I was never one from poetry, so I'm just gonna say this, V, rot in hell. And
It's
just like,
awesome.
oh,
It's awesome.
and then immediately after, I get a message from Carrie. I get a message from Misty.
So it's all nice,
Yeah,
nice.
it's great.
And,
Burn in hell.
and,
Oh,
Yeah.
and then immediately after those two, the last call I think I got was then the Peral is just calling like, V, so listen, they're in my walls. This is what's going on. Can you please just give me a
They're in
call
the walls.
as soon as
Yes.
because I
They're in
think Elizabeth is in on it.
Yep. Gone. I love how they put in even missions like that into the ending calls where you could completely miss it.
Mhm.
100%, and then you get like an extra call like that. Yeah. So I guess it go through what all happens for what that ending with the Corpo where you get sent up in there and like they're like, yeah, it basically okay, I have a question. If you do the Corpo ending, then they send you up in space. He is in that ending. Who talks to you upstairs to get you to sign your memory stick away?
Isn't
'Cause
it
when
the
you're
guy
s-
that?
I get Takamura for that. He comes up to
Isn't it-
visit you to get you to sign your thing away.
I did not get him. I did not
It's
get
the guy that you
Nakamura.
that you intercept with Panam in her first mission.
That dude.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's that dude that gives you the contract.
Huh. I never got that. Huh. Weird. Weird. Okay. Yeah, but did you sign your thing away when you got what did you okay, since you guys
Did you
didn't
sign
all
your
do that
thing?
ending. Would you sign your thing away or would you just go back with your romance? Because what the big deal is that they're having trouble why they're keeping you up there. If for those who haven't done the ending, they're keeping you up there because they're having trouble finding you a match. Arasaka gets sent into his son because he's a direct copy, well, like a direct descendant in the DNA matches.
Mhm.
Someone's having trouble finding an exact brain for you because of how screwed up your brain functionalities were because of Johnny. So basically, you sign your life away to be stuck in a computer until they find someone. Or the other option is sign it off and your romance is sending you bitchy messages to get your ass home. So then you go home and live out your remaining months with your romance. Which of the two would I don't know what you did, Kiona.
I think way back when, this was years ago when I played it, so I think way back when what I did was I just told them to go fuck themselves, and I basically went back with my partner, my romance partner, who was
What would you two do?
Whew.
What would I do?
Yeah.
Not pick the devil ending.
Well, I mean, in the devil ending, if you had two
Oh,
of those
If
two
you had
options,
gotten
what would you do?
anything.
I would just tell them to go fuck themselves because at that point, as soon as I sign over my soul, they can do whatever the fuck they want with it. They can program it however they want to make me do whatever they want to do.
Speaking of that, during the Corpo ending, there is a point where you can go in with Hanaka Arasaka and see that they saved Jackie's data and they have an AI of him.
What?
Did you not know that?
I've always thought curiously of trying the Corpo ending and
Hold on.
Wait, does that happen all the time? Because I just remember getting spooked by Jackie's like ghost by like a dream thing, and that was it. I don't remember.
No,
her
like you go into a room. It's an optional side room where you can go off instead of just doing the mission. Where Hanako is just on a computer and she goes, "Well, you guys killed Jackie." Oh, I'm sorry. You have to give Jackie's body to Arasaka.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So then they take him and they make a brain chip out of him, and then you can go and talk to it. Because, like you mentioned to her, like I gave you and nothing happened. Yeah, I'll look it up while we're talking to get the YouTube video to send to you guys. But yeah, it's and you can very much tell that it's like fake enthusiastic voice line, so it sounds super fake, but it's actually Jackie, so it's
that's ghoulish. That's cool, but that's ghoulish.
But yeah, it's screwed up. It's screwed up.
That's messed up, man. Oof.
What was that called? Not brain dance. What were they calling those things?
Ingram?
Ingram, yes.
Oh, that's fucking
Every time they say Ingram in this game, it just reminds me of Destiny.
Speak with okay, hold on. I'm wondering if I can here we go. I don't know how well this is going to sound, but let's see. I might have it. Let's get the audio up in here. All right, so
oh, that's perfect.
Hide.
Also, I love this Matrix reference.
I don't know if this is not what I was thinking of. This is not what I'm thinking of, but you can see this too. God, this game is beautiful.
You actually talked to Jackie?
Wait, what? When?
How? What?
How do you do this?
Yeah, how do you get
We'll have
this
to look because this is not what I was talking about.
Hit the major leagues, mamita. Running with Dex. Fat-ass black Jesus of the afterlife. The partly gold plated cool. Not bad, eh?
Are we? Is it a dream?
It'll be all right, V. You'll see.
What is up with this? Why are you acting so weird?
Misty knows. Misty always knows.
Jackie, amigo, you really got no idea who I am.
Chica.
Jackie,
Gonna be up to our necks in juicy contracts, chica. I can feel it.
Oh.
are we? Is it a dream?
It'll be all right, V. You'll see.
He just repeats. Or did they repeat the questions, maybe?
I think they
Those
get
friends,
a
I think they
partial-
pressed the same question or something.
Yeah.
see you there.
I wish we had more Jackie in the game.
That was not what I was talking about.
I
This
wish
is
that we had
what I
more
was
of him in
talking
the game,
about.
honestly, though.
Wait a sec.
Like, how
Wanna
does
talk
that
to Jackie
happen?
Wells.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah,
that
how
one
does that
happened.
happen?
That's my first
You
time
took his
seeing that.
body. Arasaka did. Goro said you interrogate the dead. Think I might understand how that's possible now.
I'm afraid these are two wholly different things. But let us see.
This sound effect also, I
Yeah.
love so much.
Jackie Wells.
Hermano! Finally! Mama told me things come to those who wait. Some are even good.
Jackie, how do you feel?
Checking to see if I'm not rotting in some dumpster, like most of the Wells boys. Thing is, the more I say everything's okay, the more I feel like I'm straight up lying.
Remember anything about what happened?
Hit the major leagues, essay! Running with Dex! Badass black Jesus of the afterlife! A heap of partly gold-plated cool. Not bad, eh?
Hey, never did get the chance to thank you.
The biochip. Hold on to it. For me.
Knew I could always count on you, Jack.
Shot of vodka on the rocks, lime juice, ginger beer, oh, and most importantly,
Oh, that is.
splash of love.
Misty misses you. Loads.
Oh, Misty. Listen, amigo, I got this thing. And if I borrow your wheels, got a date with Misty, but take the metro. How's that gonna look for me?
Take it easy, amigo.
Afterlife. See you there.
Oh,
That
it's so fucked.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that. I don't know how you get him in Mikoshi. I've never gotten that. So, but
It
yeah,
must be,
that's
like,
there.
at any point where you get to Mikoshi yourself, and then but before you had given Jackie to Arasaka.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one thing where I'm like, you give yourself away. Like, what have you left? Are you just repeating things? What actually happens if they make an Ingram of you? Like, it's screwed up. But yeah, that's with the Corpo ending. The do you like how you basically okay? How do you feel about the moon ending? The where you go, you're the king of afterlife and go up to the moon.
I love it. I absolutely adored it. Absolutely, like it's just for me, for my V, it was the perfect ending.
That is perfect.
For my V, it was the perfect ending because it just I started out as a street kid, so going from street kid to like reaching the stars, it's a lot of fun, and just how right it felt. Just going into the Crystal Palace, like the getting all suited up, the just the hype around it, and then
Hearing the orchestrated never fade away.
Yeah, hearing the orchestrated never fade away, and then just like that last mission marker, just like what was it, like Walk with the Stars or something like that.
Oh yeah, you go out and so that's one thing that I wish that the next game had. You play in first person. I don't need a third person option. I'd like one. Cutscenes in third person.
Yes.
Yeah.
You only really ever got the endings in third person, which I was like, I'm making a character. Let me see them.
Yeah, I wanted that really bad too.
Yeah, but hey, they're making an Unreal Engine now, so they won't be fighting with an engine. And I've seen how pretty some things look in Unreal, so oh my dear Jesus, is that next game going to look pretty? Because I've seen that thing.
So good.
I've seen that thing going on a Ferrari engine worthy PC. Oh. It's something. Anybody else? Other comments on it, like the fact that whoever's your romance basically ditches you? Anything else?
I hated the ending, honestly. I got it again last night. So last night, my second playthrough, this time with female V. This is so I've completed it once with male V, and I've completed it once with female V. And I made a mistake, by the way, earlier. So this one, the Crystal Palace, I only got this on the second playthrough. The first playthrough, I got the Corpo ending, and then I got the Aldecaldos ending. So I got the Nomad ending. Which was the one that you were saying, Josh, and that was the one that really affected me as well. And I thought that was actually a good ending. So I was like, I'm gonna just leave it here and just be like, that's my canon ending. But for this time around, the first time I played through it, I picked the ending where V basically offs herself. And that was very because I wanted to see how it would play out, you know.
They sadly make that one sound like the best option at first after you do it, because it's very serene and peaceful and Johnny doesn't give you any shit about it.
Right. But then you realize then you get the phone calls and you realize how it affected
Judy's
everybody
phone
else.
call destroyed.
Oh,
so freaking brutal.
It's heartbreaking.
Heart-wrenching. I'm going to talk about this more later, but this just goes to the power of games and how, like, you know, by living out this fictitious character's existence, you can kind of like you can affect people emotionally and just like, and I've been in a position where I've wished for that over the past year and a half. I've wished to not wake up and to just go in my sleep. And, sorry.
All right, man.
But you know, the way that it hits everyone around V and the way that they show that, it makes you realize don't ever wish for that.
Pan Am's response, especially.
Pan Am's, Judy's. I'm actually grateful to the developers for making that ending and for showing the consequences of such an act. But yeah, I'm sure, you know, I'm not alone in this. A lot of people have felt that way. And you know, if you need help, get help. And just remember that the people that love you, because that's who's going to end up hurting. You know, your actions have consequences. My actions would have consequences. So, Anyway, that was, I mean, it's intense and it's heavy, but it's something where like I feel like they're doing people they're actually kind of doing us a service, by putting that ending in there and by showing
Yeah.
you the consequences of that. So, um and I've seen it from people, where people say this game has saved my life because it made me think. And yeah, it's something where you can have that kind of effect. Um then the second time was the Crystal Palace ending, and I just hate that it broke my V up with Judy. I hate that it broke us apart like that. And even the phone call at the end from Judy was not a happy one. It was a bad phone call.
Mhm.
And so I'm not sure that I love that ending. Also, does she just die in space? Does
You
V
don't
just
know.
die in
You
space
you
because of
you
it looks like there's a
you
leak in her helmet or something. It looks
Oh
no
like
no, I think that's just
no.
I
like
don't know what that
exhaust.
was.
That's
Was that just
exhaust pushing her.
exhaust, or
That's
was that
exhaust
just like
pushing her
her
towards. That's exhaust pushing her
pushing?
toward the thing so that she can do the heist, and it's meant to tell you
Okay.
we don't know what happens.
Yeah,
Okay. Because
that's what
I thought, okay, that could either be thrusters, or it looks like it might have been like maybe something's happening there. I wasn't sure. Anyway, um, but yeah, I mean, to just leave it up in literally up in space like that is so. I don't know. I wasn't satisfied with that ending.
That leads
So
to a very tragic thing that just came out today, or a week or so ago, about data mining with what was going on with Cyberpunk. That just
Would have had a
probably would
DLC
have
up there.
gotten something with that.
hmm
Yeah, that they were planning on supposedly doing a Moon DLC.
Oh,
Which probably, yeah,
oh damn, that would have been so good.
it would have. But I'm happy we got the DLC we did get because
Same,
Oh, yeah,
same.
that whole game might have died.
Oh,
But
true. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
I am happy that we got Phantom of Liberty because
yeah,
I got a lot to say about Phantom of Liberty.
yeah.
Honestly, I
We'll
still
get
have a
on
lot
that.
more to say.
I've got all them. I appreciate all them. The one that I liked but had bad parts to it, and it's one that almost no one wanted to get because no one wanted to do what it would take for them to get it. So when you're playing Phantom Liberty, what I'm gonna go through Kiona, did you get the situation where you and Songbird went to go up the rocket ship, or did you get the one where she went rogue and you had to go through Max Tech?
Oh, I was with Songbird the whole way, so I got the I got the whole like orbital air tower or rocket ship thing. Yeah,
Okay. What about
I
you two?
but I did see
call
the
it
other
Max
ending.
Payne
Yeah,
3
watched it.
finale.
You the what?
I call it the Max Payne 3 finale because it's basically what it turns into.
Mhm.
And did you get the same thing?
Oh yeah, I sided with Sony. Like
You-
absolutely.
So you both got the spaceship one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you guys missed the bet. In
We
my
missed
opinion,
out.
the better one's the other one because you have a Dead Space stealth, no weapon
yes.
hunt,
I saw
I-
it.
hunt with the
I
freaking
watched it.
cyborg.
Yes.
Oh
It's
my god!
terrifying. It's probably like the best way to end it, but and the some of the stuff that you get from it, like what's the name of the gun? Erebus?
I think so.
That gun. I want that gun. I want that gun so bad because it's so cool. It's so
Mhm.
cool, but you have to betray Somi to do it. And I didn't
Really?
want to do that. Because
Yeah,
I was I liked Reed at first, but then he just it
The
was
turn
very
for you was when he killed the twins.
yeah when he killed the twins and just how like he just didn't care at all about anybody other than the mission. It was just like, dude, you're a dog.
That's the tragedy.
you're all good.
You're a lap dog.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and it's like I wanted to get the one where I knew what happened if you got saved because I was like, I want to know if I'm getting a sequel of V or not. So I chose the Max Tack one because the not spoiler split thing said this one is easier to do and get through without people explaining steps, which you had a few more steps to get through to the other one, which I played both of them and I didn't feel like it was that complicated because you had to choose certain dialogue options to make it go a certain way. But you actually got to have an honest to God fight with Max Tack.
Yes.
in the other one, and you had to like set up options and other things, and it was intense. But in the spaceship one, you actually got to wield the black wall for a while, so
That was cool.
that was pretty sick.
Yeah, they have good points to both of them, but I definitely would like to go back and replay the whole DLC, which I didn't have time to do before this.
Oh, I
podcast,
haven't
that's
done
why.
that yet, but I want to.
Yeah, I want to.
I will say I liked but didn't like the ending that you get from Reed, because they're like, no, you're getting the mate. Like, have you guys seen what all happens with the phone calls and all that shit from that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mean the phone calls are in the credits, or
no, that you get before?
Oh yeah, the ones that if you do try to call like right then and there, like Pan Am just won't answer.
Won't answer you.
Judy's
moved on and is married. River got bad and is like off the police force and got into drugs. Carrie has got like long swooping hair and he's on tour in Europe or something. Vic will answer you and tells you to come home. Yeah.
Wow.
It basically kind of shows that you were the one holding a lot of their lives together. And the one with Pan Am, which someone explained to me and made sense. Pan Am is a person who runs a lot off of loyalty. And it kind of seems like you weren't allowed to tell people exactly what was going on. And you're gone for half a year in a coma.
I think you're gone for 2 years.
2 years.
Is it 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 years.
2
But
years,
you're gone for a substantial amount of time. And like Mitch in the phone calls and the credits will be like, yeah, I'm sorry, we can't get a hold of Pan Am. She kind of took that personally that you weren't returning phone calls and some other things. And
it was just like, listen, it's good to hear from you, but just please, for the sake of Pan Am, don't try contacting her. It's just, it was already a lot for her to deal with you gone, and then you being back, it's just going to hurt even more. Just don't call, but it's good to hear.
I saw that ending as the worst one, because you end out and Reed tells you that you basically can't use Chrome at all,
or you die.
And then you just it ends out with you looking at your V, just walking into a crowd, blending in.
Now that is one thing that I will kind of admit is bordering on poetic, because you're used to being this god monster of a thing you can turn your V into, and then of all people, the one that got her life ruined right away because of all this. Now her name's escaping me. You talked to her in the end, and she has a different haircut.
Misty.
Misty, yeah. Misty's like the one person that was still there, and she's just like, V, what the hell happened? And then at the very end, to me, it was poetic in a way. I'm not saying it was great feeling because you lost out on everything, but you don't win with Night City 90% of the time. And to be honest, the fact that you're a simple civilian, you're going to have a normal life and not the life that ruined and got you into this situation. Like, you got out and you have a chance to not do this shit again. Like, no one remembers who you are, and you can kind of just get a chance at a secondary life, give or take. You can't use Chrome anymore. But it was kind of just one of those, you're a normal person and it's your choice what you do. They never had that as an option in the earlier parts of the game for an ending. So that was the one that they had left, because they're quite obviously were not making a direct sequel. So in this version, there isn't a chance of going Cyber Psycho if you don't touch anything. There is always a chance, yes, but they basically said if you do Chrome, you're going to die. You don't get a chance to go Cyber Psycho.
Your
like,
brain
the body
literally cannot
couldn't handle
interface.
it.
Yeah, I can't interface with the Chrome anymore, with the implants anymore.
The thing killed. The thing had to be so invasive because of how far along Johnny got that it basically nuked your immune system.
Yeah,
like, you could still live, but trying to get anything extra on you would kill you.
So like V gets mugged by these two like loser guys. They basically kick her down like a staircase, essentially, on her way out of like Victor's clinic and stuff, and then she can't fight back because she has no means to anymore.
And that to me is like the worst way that it can end. because
I thought she was going to die from that. I thought that was what they were going to do. I thought they were going to be like, okay, this is V. This is like the most powerful freaking, person in the entire game, and they're going to just die in like a random mugging.
Because I see your point, Brock, and that is kind of poetic because you.
I will agree, it's not the happiest ending. I will agree with you. But go ahead.
I wouldn't even say it's poetic because if you think about it, the one thing that this game teaches is that the people at the bottom are always taken advantage of the most, are always hurt the most, always have it the worst. And so you go from even like a point where, like, when you start the game, I say you end out the game worse than you started it. Because you're incredibly vulnerable.
You're not wrong, but the only way of and I've had someone, because I've had that same thing where the only thing you kind of get out of it is that, I don't want to say know your point in life, but you now have the knowledge of knowing what can happen when you let success get to your head. I don't know if I'm trying to explain that it was a lesson learner, but it sucks that you had to learn the lesson that hard.
It's kind of like, what happens when you try to swim against the tide in a city that's just a constant heavy wave of shit.
What happens to you is basically what Judy was scared of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it's like you said, it's teaching a lesson to your character, but I openly don't think that it was meant to make you happy in all concerns, but you can kind of go, how I see the endings of Cyberpunk, if released away, is like you can understand how you got there.
Like, especially with that,
in a way, I guess.
I fully get where you're going with that, Brock, and I personally think that on the outside looking in, that's probably one of the most thematically appropriate endings, like just constantly shooting for the stars, constantly trying to be a legend and everything like that. Ultimately, if you do try to finally take a step back and look at yourself and finally take care of yourself once it's too late, it's basically kind of like another form of cancer, just social and physical cancer. And while V becomes a face in the crowd, it really is just a second chance of just, I saw the top again. This is if I were going at it as Corpo V. I saw the top, or if I were Street V, I was reaching for the top, got there briefly, and now I'm back, just there and back again. And I like what that ending represents, even if I don't personally like the ending. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I am.
Yeah,
it feels like a repeated lesson because it's a lesson, but we already learn that when we died, when we literally died, and our best friend died, but the point isn't to not fight back or not to try. It's to keep fighting. It doesn't matter if this is all meaningless in the end, because our corporate overlords will always have control, and the future that we want, we'll probably never live to see. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're never going to live to see it. We fight for it. It doesn't matter if it's meaningless. We fight.
I think that's just more like kind of what you can get out of it, just off of these different interpretations of that ending. You know what I mean? Like, especially for the V that you created, like, they would never consider anything like.
But that's the beautiful thing about this game, is that even every ending isn't necessarily right or wrong. It just depends on your V.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's one thing where a lot of people wanted to shove this aside. Where this is what I mean by, I didn't get handed half of a Toyota when this game was made. I got handed a Ferrari that didn't have the parts to it. You just needed to get a chance to get it to go, which everyone's like, no, that game is a piece of trash and it'll never be good. I'm like, no, it is a good game that is glitchy as fuck. I've played games that were bad that played as they wanted it to. That to me is a big difference between getting a game that needs love and a game that is just bad. And I tried so hard to we'll let you get into that. We're almost done. That's why I try to explain to this with people. I'm like, no, try it again. This is the point of them fixing things. This is a very good company at making video games. There's a good game here.
Mm-hmm.
It
Like,
just, you...
was the journey getting here rough? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they overpromise when it happened? Oh, God, yeah. I think... especially for the fact that, from what I understand, this was CD Projekt Red's first attempt at a first-person anything like this, and that they tried to do so much and had to gut so much. There was going to be multiplayer at some point, but they just had to scrap it.
I had that thought. Like when I found out that they were going to do multiplayer, I had a thought. If this game was multiplayer, I would not play any other game. Like, are you kidding me? Could you imagine being able to play like your build, but with your friends? Oh my! I'd never get off the game. I'd never leave Night City.
Yeah, and there's also rumors that supposedly this game was supposed to be third person, and because of the limitations they were doing, it had to be first person. Mm-hmm. Because when you watch the original version of the cutscene where Dax kills you, it's in third person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it looks it's like an actual honest-to-God cinematic, and it doesn't just happen to you in-game. So, yeah, there was trials, but again, now, this game that is kicking on all cylinders, the last time I looked, this game had sold 25 million copies. How many copies of Cyberpunk 2077 sold? Since its release at the end of 2023, and since the release of Phantom Liberty, it's sold over 25 million copies. So the game did good. Even if they had to pay back his breathtakingness handled everything. They had to pay back some money for some things for I don't remember exactly what, but they got fined for
because
something. No, it wasn't false advertising, but it was something. I can't think of what it was, but anyway, it ended up being a minuscule amount, like $3 million.
Yeah, I think it was their investors that sued.
Oh, there we go. That very well could be it. But anyway, before we get to Crystal's little rant that I said she could have at the end of this, general overall, I'm nearly 40K in debt. Movie isn't enough to reduce. Oh boy. Yikes. Reasonable estate and fringe. Anyway, thoughts overall on the game. You're happy you tried it, anything like that. I will let you two go first, and then me and Kiona that kind of got into it first from the start. Crystal, go ahead.
This is my new Roman Empire. Hands down. As soon as I beat the game, I started getting into all the lore behind it and the conspiracy theories. And I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave for the life of me. You'll have to drag me kicking and screaming. And I'm so excited for this for Project Orion. I'm ready for it. This game changed how I look at video games. Mm-hmm. Like games that I want to play.
Holy shit.
Absolutely.
Damn.
Like I told you guys before we did this recording, and I've been hyping up, you really did unleash a monster with Crystal.
Damn.
I'm not saying that
in a negative way, that much. Dang. Holy shit. You didn't do I want to say darker games or more choice-based stuff is what you mean? Or
I guess that
or you're willing to try more stuff, kind of.
I think that's mainly what I mean. Okay. Again, it was really the first FPS game that I just fully sunk my teeth into, and I love it. I love it through and through. I get first person shooters now. I also get skill trees now. That was something that was always hard for me to do. I'll be honest.
Yeah, the first version of this game's skill tree was funky.
Oh,
They
was
did a
terrible.
good job of revamping it.
They did
yes,
a very good job with it. Yeah.
Very good job. I'll say I think that Johnny is Keanu Reeves' best performance, period.
Wow.
Like, movie or game, doesn't matter.
Nice.
I think it's his best performance.
I actually agree. Yeah.
I
would
feel
agree.
so much
Other
for
than
Johnny.
maybe John Wick.
Speaking on that, the
Baba Yaga.
There is a quote at the end of this, which I have to say,
either way.
The final words of Johnny when you get into that Phantom Liberty quest.
Yes. Okay.
Have you guys seen the scene at the very end when the doctors pick you up to take you to go get the surgery?
By the way, the doctor's last name.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Scene. The doctor's last name, Josh, in that scene. Do you remember what that doctor guy's last name is? If you've seen this, the very
I don't know. Did you guys watch the ending?
I actually haven't seen like the helicopter lead up. So what's the doctor's last name?
Your last name. I'm serious.
I think I messaged you about it at the time.
It's too funny. It's too funny. I was sitting there like, oh my god, Josh needs to know that.
There is hold on. I want to see if I can get the point up to the plane ride, because the last bit you get with Johnny is one of my favorite dialogues that Keanu Reeves has ever. Ever. And if I can get it up on here, let's see, share audio. Yes, please.
Is that the one where he reveals like?
Whoa, wrong one. We're wrong. It's all gone wrong. Oh god. Nothing.
Yo, that was
go
Netwatch.
wrong. Oh god.
That was Netwatch right there. That was Blackwall.
That was Mikoshi.
That was Mikoshi.
I believe this doctor was on.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's start with a quick nervous system scan. You mind giving me your personal link?
Right.
This thing is fucked though.
Here.
Too big for it.
This is amazing. This whole thing is fantastic.
Was just fighting to survive.
So was I. Except your fight made all the difference. It's okay, V. You're allowed to be a little proud of yourself.
So, no hard feelings. No this. This ain't the outcome you hoped for.
Hoped for a lot of things in my time. And people I cared about got hurt. Don't need that happening again. Just glad you'll pull through. And that I got the chance to call you my friend.
Can't help wondering if I can still call myself a friend.
Of course you can. God my blessing. Been in your head some time, V. Know you well enough that it ain't even a question.
Wonder how things would have turned out if we'd never met.
First, bullet to the brain would have ended you on the spot. Second, would have never survived the rest without my expert advice.
I wanted to crack a lame joke, put up some saccharine sweet lie, but now it looks like you beat me to it.
Truth is, I don't know, V. Maybe you'd have lived a quiet, normal life. Or gotten shivved in a jail cell. But sweet Lady Fate brought us together and put us through some shit. It's what counts.
I've got readings spiking. Strong emotions.
This part right
Let's do
here.
this. We want your brain burden-free. Never know how stress might affect it.
Think this is it, kiddo.
Yes. So,
Promise me one thing, will you?
I promise. No idea what, but I promise.
Not asking you to never give up. Sometimes you gotta let go. Just don't let anyone change who you are, okay?
Johnny,
Good night, Valerie. Today was a good day.
The one time he calls you by your actual name in the entire game. Anyone, to my knowledge, calls you by your actual name. That ending line kills me.
Oh, that how did you get that
Wow.
ending?
That's
That's it.
if you choose to get the surgery. You don't get that if you don't choose to get the surgery. Because he's
Oh.
Yeah.
talking with you, because he knows you're on your way to go scrape him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that when he called me Valerie, I was like, it hit me. No one said your name in the entire game.
I think there's
What is
one instance-
male V's name?
I believe it's Vincent.
It's
Yeah.
Vincent. It's
Vincent.
Vincent.
That's what I was
You-
thinking. I was
You
thinking.
find
it was
this out
Vincent.
in clouds when you go the first time.
Oh.
With the doll, they
Oh, really?
they initially call you by your full name,
Oh,
and then you correct
Yeah.
them V, just V.
But
Yeah,
still,
but-
just the fact
Did
that
not
like your
notice that.
friends and everybody still calls you V.
I just that at the end I was like, yo, why am I about to cry? This game has made me cry. Why are you doing it again? Because then I'm
I
like,
would
oh. Go ahead.
I wish you could have gotten like a sweet moment like that with the other endings too. And again,
Yeah.
don't fear the Reaper ending. That one, it could have been fleshed out so much more.
Yeah.
Just a build up
Valerie.
or a little after something.
Yeah. All right. Back to what we were talking about, Josh.
I like calling her Valerie.
Yes. Josh,
Not
feelings on the
just
game?
that.
For me, this was an absolutely unforgettable experience, especially at this point, I've kind of jumped back into mostly single player games, but not really like open world stuff. I've been sinking my teeth. At that time, I was really sinking my teeth into like, Metal Gear again with the MGS collection, or just little things here and there, like just classic like old platformers and so forth. So just kind of getting everything back and jumping into Cyberpunk, and it was totally on a whim because Teddy had realized that, oh shit, it's on sale with Phantom Liberty. That's basically what it would be full price for just the base game.
Yeah.
Let's fucking get it. And then we did, and just I was struck by how much I did not want to leave Night City. I think I had messaged you guys at some point that I hadn't felt a feeling like this since Mass Effect, where it was just, I was so engrossed with the world and the characters and just everything that I got to do in the game that was like, I don't want to leave just yet. And then when I did, I had probably the perfect ending for the character that I created. And even just the fact that it still has me excited of the possibilities that I can explore with the other characters, and also just the other different play styles that I can adopt. It was really eye-opening, and it got me back into like more of those like open world kind of games, and it made me want to jump into more games that allow that kind of freedom. Like I still need to finish going through Elden Ring, which, oh boy, that's going to be a whole thing. But
That's a rough one, man. Very good game.
Rough but rewarding. And this one,
Rewarding,
it was so rewarding just to finally experience it, and especially getting engrossed in the other media like Edge Runners. I saw we saw a few of the graphic novels at Barnes and Noble, and I know
like the one about Trauma Team.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
And I even heard that there's going to be a live action Cyberpunk show at some point.
Yes.
Which, of
At
course,
some point.
I will
It's in
naturally
development.
I will naturally beg, hey, CD Projekt Red, since that cuck Neil Druckmann isn't returning my calls, or Craig Mazin, I would love to be on the directing team for your live action Cyberpunk show. But also, if Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin happen to hear, I still want to direct an episode of The Last of Us.
I won't call him what I was going to call him. I won't say Neil Cuckman. There you go. Okay, I said it.
God.
But
Right.
Now he'll never come on this podcast.
It was just so.
I like you, Neil.
I love Neil. I love his writing. I love the stuff, but I know it can be controversial. But seriously, Cyberpunk
Make
was
Last of Us a musical. Damn it!
Cyberpunk was just
Make Cyberpunk a musical.
What you want? You want
Cyberpunk
Abby
musical
killing
too.
Joel with a 4-iron to the beat of some song?
No, I don't want her killing Joel at all. Damn it!
do it to the beat of Civil War by Guns N' Roses.
Oh shit!
But still, Cyberpunk Night City. I don't know where the sequel's gonna go, but just the fact that I'm even excited for the sequel, that I'm waiting on bated breath with every bit of news about Project Orion, that just has me so hopeful for the future. And I hope
You guys
to God
want it in some place other than Night City?
I would like to see different environments that they could try.
I would like to see some other places, but I would like to return to Night City. Like
DLC
maybe
to
we can
Night
go
City.
to some other state. It'd be cool. But I'd miss Night City if it wasn't in the next game.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Josh.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That's basically the gist of it. Just this was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I don't know if any other game experience is going to top this, though. I still need to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So we'll see. But
Well, Keona says that all the side content is completely needed, so.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
You must
Keona.
play every single minigame. You must 100% every single one of them.
Keona, how do you feel about Cyberpunk?
My return as the squat Sultan.
I say that even though we got off to a rocky start, I think that Cyberpunk and I have a nice, solid relationship now. Phantom Liberty, I think I kind of wish that we had more time to talk about it, to be honest, but I think Phantom Liberty was the crowning achievement. I love the expansion, I think, even more than I love the base game.
Oh yeah.
And I think that it really showed how far they've come in terms of like the mission variety and just how polished everything was, with Phantom Liberty in particular. I think that this is a solid 9 out of 10 for me with Phantom Liberty. Base game by itself is probably an 8. But yeah, if I had to put a number on it, which, you know, but I think that personally speaking, it has so many characters that I've just come to know and love. And again, major shout outs to Songbird, who I think is one of the most interesting, complex, complicated characters in a lot of video game history, if not all of it. Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a game. And I need to go back when I'm taking a break from it now, because I did go kind of, you know, I played it for like 10 hours yesterday to try to catch up and before this podcast, but like, I need to go back and replay it again, and I need to go back and replay Phantom Liberty DLC, and plus you get to fight like that freaking tank from Ghost of the Shell. How many Ghost of the Shell references are there in this game? It's pretty amazing. You get to fight the Major as a cyber psycho. You get like, you know, you fight the spider tank thing, which is called the Chimera this time, and you get like the full ending where she breaks up the battery compartment and like pulls out the battery, shoves a grenade in there, and she says "rusted piss," and it's like awesome.
That whole opening was so great.
That was
Oh, yeah.
so great.
Now
Oh my-
wait until the sequel is all just that.
Exactly.
When the plane
More
goes
Idris
just
Elba
over
music,
you.
please.
Yes.
That literally, I was making the joke like, "Are you a bad enough choom to rescue the president?" And then just
Yeah.
and then the thing says CD Projekt Red presents Phantom Liberty. It was like, oh, they're actually going for it.
Oh yeah.
That whole
did.
sequence
But-
is so cool.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that
is.
sequence is amazing. I think that like this game, like I was saying earlier, and how it just like it makes you really think. And I think that like the types of games that we all really love, like Last of Us, especially Part One, this game, Mass Effect as a series, as a franchise, like those that we really love and that really stick with us, I think are the ones that just make us feel and think and really get into the characters' lives.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, I know I'm going long, so I'll just stop right there. But yeah,
It's all good.
I love this game very much.
No, it's all good. No, this was
And we
a
need more
game.
Idris Elba music. Let him DJ. Let him
This
DJ
is
an
a
entire
game-
set.
This is a game where I felt like I was defending a child. Its entirety until it grew up with and graduated off to college with Phantom Liberty. Every day, so I go, that game's a fucking piece of shit. Why aren't you playing it? I'm like, did you try playing it? Well, no, people said it was glitchy. So you didn't touch it. He's like, yeah, but it's got glitches. That means the game sucks. I'm like, no, that means it's glitchy. The game can be good with glitches in it. That's the difference. No, it's the exact same thing. I bring up like, okay,
If you play
What's your
any
fi- what's your-
open world game, glitches are going to be common.
yeah, that's what I just brought up. I would bring like what person was talking to. Their favorite game was God of War 2018. I'm like, cool. So if I just dumped 1,000 glitches into God of War, it's now a bad game, not a good game with glitches. Oh, that's different. That was good right away. No, it isn't. No, it is not. That is still a good game that had glitches in it. There is a gigantic difference. Yes, and now I know. I'm pretty sure it was one of the head directors at
Sorry, I'm
dang it.
T-posing.
It's at Nintendo, yes. At Nintendo that said a rushed game is bad forever,
I
but
glitched
a
out for a
game is
second.
delayed is good. This is the only time where that ever actually crossed it over and turned back to being good. I literally felt like I was defending a child. That then finally someone Phantom Liberty came out. Wow, that Phantom Liberty looks really cool. I didn't know the game played like that. I'm like, oh, the game you didn't play because it was the entire game was back, so that glitches in it, right? Not just to give you a good game that had glitches in it. Oh, you had to look at it first or actually play it even after it's done. So was the whole time? I'm like, yeah, the game was good, just had glitches in it. That's like what I said. Like you guys had tried it with Phantom Liberty. Oh yeah, I think I might have actually still liked it. Just waited a little bit of just like, why am I having this conversation? Yes. Just,
The glitch videos were pretty freaking hilarious.
They were.
though,
They were
I have to
hilarious.
say.
Or they were, but
fantastic.
like that's one thing that I have to say now that I
Yeah.
kind of hate with modern gaming journalism.
Yeah.
One person says it's bad, and then it's bad, but then the next person says, no, it killed my children. You don't understand how bad it is. We need to stop doing that. We need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And the person who says it killed my children genuinely never even looked at it, just thought, oh, if I put this on my Twitter, I'm going to get engagement. Did you play it? Well, I don't need to.
That's true.
This overwhelming fucking negativity to not even allow new experiences. That's how we get shit like that fucking lady that went off on somebody that I know on Twitter just because he showed his girlfriend Miami Vice.
Exactly. You could say a game is bad. You do not have to say that it kicked your dog. Like there's differences. It can just be bad. It doesn't have to be the worst thing on the planet. And also, if you're going to say it's the worst thing on the planet, you have to have played it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't make that opinion otherwise.
And I'd say also, as an addendum to that, don't tag the creators or like anybody that's involved with the thing that you are flaming into
This right here.
into your full on like hyperbolic scree against this piece of art. Like, yeah, if you don't like Cyberpunk, if you didn't like Cyberpunk back then, that's fine. Don't tag CD Projekt Red.
Yeah,
And do not threaten them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
God.
Like, I'll never understand your game came out glitchy. I think your kid should die. Like, they show these messages. Why? What do you gain? Other than possibly being put on a list, what do you gain?
It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna teach them. They're gonna know that I'm serious about this thing that wouldn't affect my life if I didn't know it existed.
Like, unless you're the dude that hacked Rockstar Games with like a nightstick, a fire stick, and like, I don't know, a piece of gum. You're
in a hotel.
In a hotel under arrest. You're nothing, and you don't gain anything from being that.
No, I mean, lizard's gonna lizard, all right? Got a wish list. We need the wish list. Oh, that's like I've told Mike this many times. I do not need a death note that kills people. I don't. What I want is a death note that I could put URLs of people's social media. So I see you comment something that is that level of just stupid. I can just, no one on the internet ever needs to hear from you again. You're gone. You're gone. And I could add the little how you get kicked out or what happens to you to get there. But you know, it's fine.
We need the Chris Jericho list.
Or the lexicon.
You just made the list.
The lexicon of El Champion because he couldn't say the list again.
Yeah, the lexicon of
the Era 404 list. Yes. But all right, before we go, I should say obviously, but like, yeah, no, I got incredibly emotionally enlisted in a game that could barely run at first. That shows how good the game is that I was willing to endure. It was the only game I've ever played that crashed on a console. So
really?
I've never had it crash out or anything. And it happened to me probably 13 times during my first playthrough, and I never cared.
Yeah.
I was always like, okay, I'll save more often. I literally said that and then jumped back in. That's how good the game was. And just, but anyway, I promised Crystal that you can have a small rant.
Oh goodness.
I'm going to let Crystal have a small rant.
You know, you were just talking about how
I'm gonna use the restroom. Go ahead.
You know, you really shouldn't just say that this movie or this game, you know, destroy your life. I'll say it. Tears of the Kingdom fucked my wife.
But you played it. So you can have an opinion.
Okay, I will say this. I have not beaten it. I have not beaten it. And it actually ties in with Cyberpunk because this Tears of the Kingdom came out in March, I think.
And you're a giant Zelda fan.
Ginormous. I have been a Zelda fan since Twilight Princess. And I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I don't love it. There's a lot that I really don't like about it. Number one, the voice acting.
Oh no,
that's right. I genuinely don't like the voice acting. Of course, the English dub. The English version is just dog shit. Yes. It's dog shit. And the music is disappointing because I have such a distinct memory of the build up to when Breath of the Wild was announced. I remember waking up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I'm sleeping over my grandparents' house, and my siblings are sleeping right next to me, and everybody's asleep, and I see that they dropped a trailer. Wait a minute. This was when Tears of the King, Breath of the Wild wasn't even Breath of the Wild. It was still Zelda X.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a Zelda for the Switch.
Yes.
Or was it for the Wii U? I can't remember, but yeah, the music that's in that trailer is breathtaking. Absolutely stunning. I had so many emotions welling up. Hearing voice acting in a Zelda game for the first time, I was losing my mind. And then the game came out. And I enjoyed it. I liked it. I loved the gameplay. But I hated the voice acting, the music, the dungeons. The dungeons were the worst one. And yeah, just those huge things in a Zelda game. The dungeons have to be immaculate for it to be a proper Zelda game. And the Divine Beasts were just not it. They were so bland, so repetitive. Every boss was repetitive. Just activating 5 or 4 terminals that were already marked on your map automatically. There's no challenge. As soon as you get to the main story, there's no challenge whatsoever.
Yeah.
And when I had beaten Breath of the Wild, I left it enjoying it, but still being dissatisfied. And thinking in 2019, when the sequel was announced, this is it. This is how they fix it. They fix it. And then they made it worse. They made it so much worse. I don't care at all about the building mechanics. It's fine. It's fun. It's cool for some puzzles. But other than that, it's so incredibly annoying. I heard somebody say for every 10 seconds of my creation is beautiful, there's 10 minutes of just trying to get a wheel to stick on right.
Jeez. Dang.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No, don't worry. They've been agreeing with you the entire time.
Yeah, it's infuriating. And I'm when you started playing Cyberpunk, I was in the thralls of playing Tears of the Kingdom. And as I played it, I just kept on getting more and more disappointed. I went to Zoro's Domain first, and then I went to Goron, Death Mountain, afterward. And after I beat Goron Mountain, I just dropped the game. I dropped it. I could not play it anymore. And it's unfortunate because I watched a video on. Go watch Skitty Bitty. She made a 3-hour long video about just how abhorrent this game is as a Zelda game. And
it's not one of those hyperbolic ones that you get from Mahler or the or anybody like that, where it's just 3 hours. It's just someone going, "Fuck this! What the fuck is that?"
She breaks it down bit by bit why every single thing does not work.
Yeah,
it really does not work.
That's not fun.
Again, the voice acting just got worse for the English. It just got worse, and when honestly, it's when I had reached the point in Goron Mountain and I was meeting Yunobo, and just he sounded like it felt like it turned into a kids show. Oh, really? The way that he was talking, "Let's go save her, Goro." I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Please. You're not cool. You're not funny. You're not fun.
You just pulled a Katsuhiro Harada from the one time he came out at Evo and was just like, "Shut up, shut up."
I'm glad I'm not the only one that heard that. Where is it? This comment here. I love the English dub of Soul Eater, but Black Star made me want to stick a screwdriver in my cornea. I want to just jab my eyeballs out. Oh, and that voice actor, I remember it was Brianna Knickerbocker, if I remember her name correctly. She's a fantastic voice actor, but Black Star made me want to blow my brains.
Oh my god.
Black Star. seriously, if you want a full deep dive into why this game just isn't it, watch Skitty Bitty's video. It's so thorough, and it hits all the points that I have about just the dungeons being lackluster, being sad. Like the Goron mines were the worst, and that's why I completely dropped the game. That dungeon is it's so sad and empty, and for some ungodly reason, every single dungeon that I've done so far, there are no other enemies other than Zonai constructs, which are like they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're the only enemy pretty much on like the Sky Islands, and they're everywhere. They're the bokoblins. It's like you take a dungeon and you fill it with nothing but bokoblins.
Oh.
No cool enemies that are specific to the dungeon. Nothing like that. There maybe are I don't even know if there's any tektites in the dungeon. In the Goron mines that are underground, there's no tektites.
That's weird.
And it's just mine carts. And again, it's the same deal. Go find these 5 terminals that are already pre-marked on your map, and every single time your companion is going to say, "Hey, look, that thing looks like a button that can be pressed by my ability. Why don't you use my ability?" They specifically stop the game to tell you this, to tell you how to solve the puzzle.
That's not good.
Every single time. And the worst part is that every single dungeon ends the exact same way. You beat the boss, and then the whole time your companion has been like, "What's that voice? I hear a voice." And it's leading you through the dungeon. And then you finally get to the end, and you find out, oh, the voice that they've been hearing is their ancestor. And like, oh, like Goron of blah 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 blah. Like, oh, sweet little rock, or like just they and again, watch Skitty Bitty's video. She edits it so that way you can see every single ending is exactly the same. They play the exact same cutscene explaining the imprisoning war over and over again every single time you beat a dungeon. They say that you're supposed to help Link, that it's so bad. It's so bad. Like the writing is just, it's non-existent.
Yeah.
It's honestly non-existent. It's just the same deal. You go, they don't give any sort of flack. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to help you. Okay, here's my abilities. You can call me whenever you need. And then that's pretty much where I stopped. And
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with Tears of the Kingdom that Cyberpunk was my rebound.
Like they got you out of the abusive relationship and got you into a different form of an abusive relationship.
Yes.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yes.
It really did open up the world for her, and I've been hearing a lot of this. I've been hearing a lot of this since she got the game.
Tears for Fears.
But at the same time, just given the fact that I did watch her play through a little bit of it, it was so maddening at a certain point. Just from the outset, I was just thinking, isn't this just Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
And especially like just that whole thing about pointing out the solutions as you're working it out. It's like, people criticize AAA games all the time for doing shit like that. I remember God of War, Ragnarok got a lot of shit for that. I think Spider-Man 2 got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah.
But then
this sounds like how bad people made out God of War to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then,
but it's worse, I'd say. It's worse.
And then they'll look at Tears of the Kingdom and be like, oh, but this is a shining example of how to do it. It's like, no, they do the same thing.
Yeah, we did. We absolutely did decide that when Skyward Sword was doing it. But I'd say that Skyward Sword is at least a little bit better in that it holds your hand. It holds your hand consistently. It holds your hand through the gameplay. It holds your hand through the puzzles. It holds your hand through the story. But Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it only holds your hand during the story and the puzzles, but the gameplay, it's just do what you can, do what you want. Like it's marketed as a game that's you're supposed to be free, but it's not. The story deep down is not freeing. And in fact, I've decided that if I'm ever going to be able to beat this game, there's a very, very specific way I have to beat it. Number one, I need to beat it in Spanish. I can't watch it in English. Either Japanese or Spanish, and I'm picking Spanish because I can at least somewhat understand it.
There you go.
And then
Two.
I need to beat it. I need to go at it like in a specific order.
Okay.
There are so many things that are like, if you don't do enough exploring or discovering, that you'll just miss whole sections of the game, and it'll make things a little bit more confusing later on. So do all the stuff with Pura first. Do all the stuff with Impa, and like the memories and like the sky etchings or whatever. Find out the proper form, like layout for those memories, because the whole time you find these like little sky, like I don't know how to describe them, but they're like big drawings that you can see from the sky.
It's like the Machu Picchu.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And in them, there's like little pools with tears, and then you go to them, you touch them with the magic hand. That's not magic; it's also technical. I don't fucking. But and then you can watch what's happening with Zelda years in the past. But those aren't in order. There's no way to tell the order that you're going to be receiving these memories.
You could get a spoiler for a death and then not even realize it.
Yeah.
And then later on, it'll be like, hey, remember this particular character? Here, I want you to meet them. And then you've just stumbled onto their death like not that long before. So it's like, oh, great.
That's weird.
Yeah. And
wow.
That's game design. So I need to find the correct order to watch those memories in. And then after that, then I can start the dungeons. And that order is Rito, the Goron, the Rito region, the Goron Mines, Zora's Domain, and then Gerudo Valley. Because I haven't talked about Gerudo Valley this whole time. Apparently, it is peak. And I've seen a little bit of it, and Josh can attest to this. When I saw a boss that you have to fight just to get to the dungeon, and I was like, oh my god, oh, he's so tasty. Finally, some good fucking food.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, Cyberpunk was my rebound from Tears of the Kingdom because I was so incredibly let down by it. So incredibly let down. I wanted it to be so much more, and they marketed it as so much more. But the building is meh at best, hollow, and the story is half-baked.
Yes.
Voice acting is just garbage. And the music, I'll say this, the music is better this time.
That's good.
Because there's actually like
music.
Yeah, it's actually got some music. And the sound direction in it is phenomenal. Just the sound of going to the depths for the first time, I was terrified. Nice. Like that's just the sound of the depths. It's so cool. But there's a lot wrong with the depths too. But wish me luck playing
All
this.
right, I'll wish you luck. Don't worry. I'm glad you got to play Cyberpunk in the meantime.
Yes.
If I come up with more stuff that could possibly throw your guys' direction that's remotely close to Mass Effect or Cyberpunk, I'll try and think of it. But all right, everyone. That went on for a bit, but I'm glad we finally got to talk about this. All right, starting down with the lovely couple on the bottom, where can everybody find you guys?
You can't really find me. I'm not on social media pretty much at all.
I love how when we were preparing to do this, we're like, well, this time work with whatever it is. Like, wait a minute, what am I doing? All of a sudden, Crystal's been added to the conversation. Honey, why can we do this?
I think I literally just went like, woman, what time, please?
But you said it like Ric Flair, right? You were like, woman.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we are, like behind it, but we love each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
But don't worry about finding me. You're not gonna find me. So
Me, on the other hand, I'll get it out of the way real quick. You can find me at Twitter at JSH Lozano, where occasionally I am not shaming people for watching Miami Vice with their girlfriends. And you can also find me on YouTube at JoshBoy64. I still occasionally do cameos for friends' videos here and there. I think my friends Gwendolyn J. Stone and Chimera Films have videos up, or are going to have videos up. I think she's going to be doing a video on the Strangers series, and Chimera Films actually just did a video on Helldivers 2 that I would personally recommend. His stuff's all, and I've got something. Awesome. I've got something planned. Hopefully, by the time that my birthday hits, been chipping away at it here and there. And all I can say is just the title, which is, this video is not about Blue Beetle. And that'll kind of lying. I think it's about Blue Beetle. Hint as to what it's about generally. But you can also go ahead and if you look hard enough, you can find me on Facebook, although I don't really use Facebook all that much.
No. I say pretty much use it for Messenger, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, you can find me on the Twitter at Neoplasmic24, also on Threads and Instagram at Neoplasmic81, also on Twitch.
Thank you for the follow, Crafty, by the way.
Thank you, Crafty.
Thank you, Crafty.
Thanks, everybody from Red Stream that popped by. I see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who watched it.
Anyway, hopefully Josh and Crystal, we get to see you on the Arcade Reloaded podcast, because we're restarting that one and trying to do it more regularly. So next time we're going to do is going to be on Saturday, which I know is kind of a no-go, but we'll see if we can fit you in maybe on like a bonus episode or something. Okay. And also, twitch.tv/neoplasmic for me. I'm going to start kind of like, I had to reset up my stream because I had to like wipe my, my freaking, computer because it was acting up. So, basically, apart from that, on Red Stream, which you all know, some bish named Red on Twitter. Bish, B-I-S-H.
But,
not the other word.
Everybody that joined in, Lucifer, Legion, Crafty, anyone who I'm forgetting, thank you very much for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I'm still working on a different way. This just works really good for popping up comments and things like that for minor, normally not live videos, but I figured that might not be half bad to do this live since I don't know who I'm going to talk about Cyberpunk. But anyone who is a fan of Ruby, before I get out of here, at the end of this month, I'll be giving away, if I have them over here, if anyone is a fan of Ruby, we just got the announcement that Viz bought Ruby, so it's not dying. I have 2 of the main girls' voice actors with autographs, which I'll be giving away on my Twitch at the end of this month. Both
cool.
Yes, Kara Ellerby and Aaron Zek as Weishni and Blake Belladonna. I'll be giving these away.
Nice.
All you need to do is be subbed to my channel and watching when I give it away. There's a little automatic thing that your names will be entered into, and my stream setup will do all that stuff for you. All right. Other than that, you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube, and a little on Instagram since I'm cosplaying again. So,
nice.
Yeah, you can all check that out there. Until next time.
RenegadePopCulture.com.
Yes.
You can find all of us there.
Yes. Yes, you can. Mostly I'm on the gaming side of stuff, but every now and then with movies and things like that. But all right, until next time.
And you can see our old on there too. All right.
Yes, you can. Until next time, see you all later.